Feng Yiming looked at Gulay Pagoda. The Gulay Pagoda was very quiet at this moment, but as the army commander, he had certain authority over the entire ancient city of Xinxia. He could sense that the interior of Galata was not peaceful, and it seemed that something very intense was going on. What the hell is General Lin Shen doing? He wasn't sure. Now the army of the demonic dragon clan is pressing down on the territory, because there are god-level powerhouses, so he ordered all the soldiers in the ancient city of Xinxia to guard the city and not allow them to leave the city. These professionals who are not at the god level, facing the god-level demon king and dragon king, are simply decapitated. In a formation node inside the ancient city of Xinxia, some soldiers sent a large amount of energy crystals into the formation. Through the conversion of the formation, the energy spar continuously provides energy support for the formation of the ancient city. The ancient city formation is very strong and firmly withstood the attack. But the energy will always be exhausted, and the demon king dragon king has not done anything yet. Feng Yiming prayed that the support would come soon, and Lin Moyu would finish his work quickly. As long as Lin Mo's 500 language can manipulate Gulay Pagoda and cast Xinshan Lei, it doesn't matter even if the support cannot come. In front of Zushanlai, these demonic dragons outside are simply chickens and dogs. As time passed, Feng Yiming's face became more and more ugly. Support has not come for a long time. He knows that the opening of the Eternal Great Wall means that the human world is also under tremendous pressure. Maybe the god-level powerhouses can't get away, and they won't have support. The only hope now lies with Lin Moyu. Legion Commander, only half of the energy spar reserves are left. A soldier rushed to report that the energy spar was consumed too quickly, more than half of it was consumed in just half an hour. Feng Yiming nodded, indicating that he understood. Thinking in his mind, even if the Devil King and the Dragon King don't do anything, they can only stay in the lower space for an hour. Half an hour has passed now. As long as we can last until they leave, we still have a chance. The imagination is wonderful, however. A huge green flame fell from the sky. A demon king made a move, and it summoned flames from the abyss, which hit the protective cover of the ancient city like a meteorite. The shield of the ancient city vibrated violently, the shield twisted violently, and the energy was greatly consumed. Feng Yiming's face changed drastically, and the demon king lost his patience. One after another attack came continuously. Once the demon king made a move, he would have very little time to stay in the lower space, and it would unleash the strongest attack within a few minutes. The energy spar in the city was consumed rapidly. The reserve was running out, and in just a few minutes, 30% of the reserve was used up. The space-time channel appeared, and the demon king who shot was sent back to the deep space by the laws of the lower space. Before Feng Yiming could heave a sigh of relief, a more powerful attack than before descended. This time it was a dragon king who moved his hand. Feng Yiming's face became extremely ugly again. He had already guessed that there must be more than one or two demon kings and dragon kings in the coalition army. They took turns to smash the defense of the ancient city. Then came the massacre. No professional can stop their attacks. But ready to fight. Feng Yiming let out a loud roar, and all the professionals in the city pulled out at the same time. They have already formed a team and formed a legion, each of them is full of fighting spirit, and no one retreats. The people of Xinxia can only fight to the death and never back down. The energy spar was finally exhausted, and the defense of the ancient city was shattered. The army of demons and dragons rushed in with a bloodthirsty atmosphere. Feng Yiming raised his long sword high. Lower it, war, war, war. The human professionals shouted in unison, their murderous aura boiling. Boom! A thunderbolt fell from the sky and exploded in the air. Immediately afterwards, thunder lights were densely distributed in the air, like spider webs. The purple light shines in the sky and illuminates the earth. The purple thunder and lightning are coquettishly beautiful. The thunder was even louder, and the whole world was shaking violently. The space is shattered, like the end of the world, extremely terrifying. The thunderous sound continued for 3 seconds. 3 seconds later, the world returned to calm. The army of dragons and demons has disappeared, leaving no residue. Whether it is a top demon or a dragon warrior. Whether it is the dragon king or the demon king hidden in it. They all died under the lightning. The picture of the army pressing down on the territory before disappeared completely like a dream bubble. Everyone present was dumbfounded. Many people's weapons fell to the ground, clanging and clanging. Feng Yiming also trembled all over, looking at Galeta in disbelief. He knew that it was Zhushanlai, the more powerful Zhushanlai than last time. Needless to say, it must be Lin Moyu's masterpiece. Only Lin Moyu can manipulate Gulay Pagoda and release Zhu Shenlei. In Gulay Tower, Lin Moyu's expression was slightly sluggish. The blow just now was extremely powerful. Because Zhu Shenlei is mixed with laws, driving the laws must suffer backlash. Lin Moyu used the soul-splitting method to separate a ray of soul and endured the backlash. That ray of soul was annihilated in the backlash, and Lin Moyu was slightly injured at the same time. Fortunately, it was only a ray of soul, and the injury was not serious. 9-colored dragon soul crystal breathed out the power of the soul, and quickly healed Lin Moyu's wounds 0. It won't take long for these minor wounds to heal. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the power of this god-killing thunder, tearing apart the space, almost reaching the level of a demon emperor. Maybe not as good, but at least there is a calendar. It's time to go to the abyss. Lin Moyu took out the abyss teleportation stone, activated it, and disappeared in Gulay Tower instantly. Feng Yiming waited outside for a long time, but he couldn't wait for Lin Moyu to come out. At this time, the entire ancient city of Xinxia was immersed in a joyous atmosphere. Everyone is discussing where the previous purple thunder came from. Only Feng Yiming knew that it was Lin Moyu's masterpiece. But he won't say it. He knew that what happened today would eventually be recorded in history and called a miracle. He alone knows who performed the miracle. A thunderstorm wiped out all the 100,000 troops. It was nothing but a miracle. In the abyss, eerie green flames are everywhere. On the ground, in the sky, everywhere. The darker the flame, the more dangerous it is, and it is the place where powerful demons live. Lin Moyu entered the abyss for the second time. The previous time he was full of helplessness and apprehension, but this time he was full of murderous intentions. Take the teleportation stone for induction. This is the teleportation stone to return to Baishan Courtyard, made by Mang Anwen himself. There is Mang Anwen's own brand on the teleportation stone, and Lin Moyu can sense the approximate direction through him. After careful sensing, Lin Moyu determined the direction, and the lightning undead spread its wings and galloped away. Lin Moyu is flying fast. Even if he encounters a city, he will not dodge, and immediately attracts the attention of the demons. 5.9 It's Terran. There are people who dare to fly in the abyss, courting death. Eat him. The demons roared one after another, rushing up with blood. The sky suddenly turned black, the projection of the undead world descended, and the gate of the undead opened. The eyes of the undead appeared in the air, and the silver-white immortal fire burned blazingly. The eyes of the demons that had just flown lost focus and fell soundlessly. The eyes of the dead walk with Lin Moyu, overlooking the earth. A large number of demons in the city died on the spot, and no one survived wherever they passed. This is just a small city. There are no powerful demons in the city, and no one can resist the soul attack brought by the gaze of the undead. Soon, a second city came into view. This time it was a big city, and before Lin Moyu approached, the sirens were already ringing in the city. The enchantment opened, and a large number of demons lifted into the air. Lin Moyu hung the eyes of the undead on his head, and a dense army of undead appeared around him, rushing straight to kill him. The undead core rushed towards the city with a strong sense of death. The skeleton throne appeared in midair. The skeleton king stood up from the throne, and slashed out with a sword. Skill, slay god. The sword light lit up, and the barrier shattered. The skeleton king, whose combat power is as high as 92, shattered the barrier with one sword, and the elemental riots almost enveloped the entire city with the second blow. In the roar, the elements exploded and the whole city fell. Countless demons were blown to death on the spot, and the undead army entered the city amidst the explosive fireworks, launching a massacre. The Eye of the Undead seems to be trying to compete with the undead army for credit. Most of the demons swept by it did not survive. When Lin Moyu flew over the city, there was no sound in the city. For the devil, Lin Moyu has no sympathy. In history, demons broke into the human world several times, and the number of people who were massacred is unknown. These demons don't even count as interest. Slaughter demons and gain a lot of experience. Lin Moyu seems to regard them as monsters, and the effect of using them for leveling is also excellent. This time into the abyss, Lin Moyu has other ideas, besides saving people. Killing monsters can be used for leveling, and demons are not a must. I didn't dare to come to the abyss before, it was because of the existence of the Demon Emperor and a group of high-level demons. It might be impossible to come here in the future and use the abyss world, or even the dragon world, as the biggest copy. Once I changed my mind, I felt that the way ahead suddenly became clear. Introduce me into the abyss world, and you will pay the price. Lin Moyu felt ruthless in his heart. Once he became ruthless, even he would be a little scared. Flying over one city after another, every time a city is passed, people go to the city. With soaring experience, the abyssal demons in the city are strong or weak, and their levels are high or low, but Lin Moyu showed no mercy and slaughtered them all the way. In his eyes, the demon has become a monster, no different from those monsters in the dungeon. The devil is just a boss. If you treat it as a world boss, it is to give the devil face. There are many demon kings in the abyss. Although many of them have gone to the human world, some of them remain in the abyss. Lin Moyu slaughtered the city all the way, and finally alarmed the devil. A demon king sniped Lin Moyu on the way, but before he could make a move, the skeleton king appeared from the sky. Slashing God with one sword hit it hard, and the second skill, Elemental Riot, instantly killed it instantly. Lin Moyu didn't care about this low-level demon king at all. The news of the abyss world spread quickly, and the news that someone had rushed into the abyss world quickly spread. The succubus king did not go to the human world. He was in his palace and received news from the outside world. Beside it, the succubus Mina opened her small mouth, showing an expression of disbelief. Is he crazy, to dare to come to the abyss? The succubus king lay leisurely on the throne. He had to come. This time, Lord Demon King and the Dragon Clan teamed up to set a trap to kill Lin Moyu. The succubus king has different status, and knows far more than Mina. She knew a little about the Demon Emperor's plan, but not much. After all, the Demon Emperor, Dragon Emperor, and some high-level demons were involved. Its level is much higher than it, and it is because of a high-ranking demon who has been able to get this news that it has always had a good relationship with it. Mina stuck out her tongue. It turned out to be a trap set by the Demon Emperor. Then this time Lin Moyu is dead. The succubus king smiled and shook his head slightly. I don't think it's that simple. A character like Lin Moyu can't be killed if he wants to. Mina felt that the demon king was going to attack. How could Lin Moyu survive? But she didn't dare to refute what the succubus king said. Instead she said, Great King. Why didn't our succubus clan participate in the attack on the human race this time? Attack. The succubus king chuckled. We succubi are not good at fighting head-on. In this kind of army battle, one more of us is not more, and one less of us is not much. Besides, our succubus clan is not many in number, so don't send them to their deaths. Mina exclaimed, You said, they will fail if they go to the human race? The succubus king glanced at Mina. There are some things that you shouldn't ask. Don't ask, it's not the time for you to know. Mina's delicate body trembled, and she quickly lowered her head, not daring to ask any more questions. The air moved slightly, and the voice of the succubus king came. With that person, how could the human race be destroyed? Lin Moyu traveled thousands of miles almost in a tyrannical posture, slaughtering cities all the way. 2 demon kings have already died under its hands, and they couldn't even last a round. The skeleton king at level 92 can display B-level attack power when using skills. Lower demons are hard to resist. Even if it is blocked, he will be seriously injured. and the Skeleton King will fight close to his body. Coupled with the staring of the undead and the curse of aging, it will not last for 2 seconds. Lin Moyu also discovered at this moment that skills don't need to be used too much. What is really useful is a few powerful core skills. Since the summoning of the Skeleton King was moved into the soul, it became a soul skill, which is what Antares said. The power is greatly increased, one of the skills in the hands of adverbs. Following the guidance on the teleportation stone, Lin Moyu quickly approached the place where Meng Anwen and others were. After traveling for thousands of miles, they finally felt the aura belonging to Meng Anwen and the others. It's all right, great. Feeling that the aura of the three is still intact, Lin Moyu was overjoyed. He was really afraid that something had happened to the three of them. While feeling the aura of the three, Lin Moyu also felt the powerful aura of several statues. There are 6 in total, all of which are high-level demons, comparable to high-level professionals of the human race. Judging by their aura, they were on par with Meng Anwen and the other 3, all of them were level 96. The energy is rolling, the breath of the abyss is constantly rising, and it is obvious that they are fighting. Lin Moyu was anxious and rushed over. Shangxiata rotated rapidly, and Meng Anwen drove the law of formation to merge into Shangxiata. A powerful and tyrannical formation was formed in the air, shining with dazzling light. Countless sword soldiers shot out from the formation and hit the barrier. The barrier roared and twisted, but it couldn't be broken no matter what. Bai Yuan also cooperated with Meng Anwen to attack with a pair of iron fists, and Yan Quanxing's broadsword swayed with pure and incomparable murderous aura, which was integrated with the law of killing that he had comprehended. Among the 3, Yan Quanxing is the most aggressive in terms of attack. With the combined efforts of the 3, they were still unable to break through the barrier. After all, it has only been a short time for them to become high-level gods, and their drive to the law is relatively weak. The barrier is maintained by 6 high-level demon kings, each of them is not inferior to Meng Anwen and others, and the barrier is difficult to break under the joint efforts of the 6. The 6 people surrounded them without killing them, and their intentions were very clear. Meng Anwen's face suddenly changed. Xiaoyu is here. Bai Yuan and Yan Quanxing showed anxiety at the same time. Bai Yuan roared again and punched the barrier, but it was of no avail. On the contrary, powerful attacks were continuously launched in the barrier, causing new injuries on his body. Just not killing, not doing nothing. The 6 high-ranking demon kings are always attacking, making it difficult for the 3 of them. With Meng Anwen's finger pointing, Shinshata shed Shuguang to block Bai Yuan's attack, and at the same time softly shouted, "Calm down, it's useless to be anxious now." Bai Yuan asked anxiously, "What should we do now?" Meng Anwen said in a low voice, "Gather up your energy and see if you can have a chance to cooperate with Xiaoyu and break the barrier." Yan Quanxing said hastily, "Although Xiaoyu is strong, he is facing the Demon Emperor." Meng Anwen looked serious and dignified. "I know, I believe Xiaoyu. This is very familiar," Meng Anwen once said it. They realized that this is how Lin Moyu performed miracles time and time again. Both of them nodded at the same time. Okay. The 3 began to gather strength and prepare, ready to strike at any time. Looking through the barrier, I saw a black shadow approaching quickly. Lin Moyu has arrived. After Lin Moyu, there is a large-scale undead army, and there is a door of the dead burning with silver and white flames above the head, and the eyes of the undead in the door are daunting. The arrival of Lin Moyu also attracted the attention of 6 high-ranking demon kings. They were ordered to surround the 3 of Meng Anwen without killing them, but to injure them but not kill them. The purpose is to wait for Lin Moyu's arrival. Now that the rightful lord has arrived, the 6 high-ranking demon kings sneered one after another. The plan has been carried out smoothly so far, and the 3 of Meng Anwen have been attracted and trapped. Now that the real big fish have arrived, it's time to reel in the net. In the plan, not only Meng Anwen and the other 3 were going to die, Lin Moyu was even more going to die. It's just that they were the ones who killed the 3 of Meng Anwen, but another person killed Lin Moyu. In fact, they don't understand why a little guy of the human race who is only level 76 needs to be treated like this by the Demon King and the Dragon King. But you don't need to understand, they just need to execute the command. As for the undead legions behind Lin Moyu, they didn't even pay attention to them. Do it. The 6 Demon Kings made eye contact and were about to kill Meng Anwen and the 3 of them. What is that? Suddenly a Demon King said. Its eyes fell on Lin Moyu. On the palm of Lin Moyu, a crystal with the aura of law is blooming brilliantly. High-level Demon Kings are very familiar with the laws, and they deal with the laws every day. But when the law appears in the hands of a human professional who is only level 76, it is a bit strange. Lin Moyu holds the Law God Crystal from the God of Thunder and Lightning, and his soul locks the 6 high-level Demon Kings. Skill, Corpse Burst. The divine crystal of law collapsed and disappeared in the palm of his hand. The corpse explodes, 20% fusion rate, detonates the corpse or wreckage, and causes damage equal to 20% of the corpse's life value to the designated target within 100 meters. Although the damage is only 20% of the life value, but because of the talent bonus, the skill effect is increased by 80 times. Its effect is at least equivalent to a full-strength strike of a god, or even surpassed. Thor used to be a super god-level existence. At the beginning of the war, he was attacked and fell from the altar, and his strength was greatly damaged. But the laws still exist in their bodies, and after Thor returned to the peak of level 95, he condensed his life strength into the Law God Crystal before his death. Lin Moyu once used Summon Elemental Lich to detonate a Law God Crystal, and the effect was pretty good. This time, using the corpse that has been integrated into the soul and changed from skill to technique to explode and directly detonate the Law God Crystal, the power must be stronger. It's just that Lin Moyu doesn't know exactly how strong it can be. When Lin Moyu cast his skills, the faces of the 6 high-ranking Demon Kings changed drastically at the same time. They also breed bad premonitions. But it was too late. The purple thunder light exploded in front of his eyes, and the power of the Law of Thunder and Lightning fell on his body, and the 6 Demon Kings screamed at the same time. Their bodies were exploded, and it seemed that a stalwart thunder god appeared in the air, and thundered fury towards them. The 6 Demon Kings were blown away after the screams, almost half of their bodies were blown off, leaving only half of their lives. This blow was so shockingly strong that even Lin Moyu himself was a little surprised. Although it is still far from the strike of the God of Thunder and Lightning in its heyday, it has at least reached the peak of a high-level god, and it is not far from a half-step super god. With one blow, the 6 Demon Kings were collectively injured. The 3 of Meng Anwen were also stunned. They never imagined that Lin Moyu could be so strong. Xiaoyu's skills are so powerful. Bai Yuan sighed. It's amazing. Yan Guangxing also murmured. At this moment, they were happy, but also a little inexplicably lost. I am really old. Meng Anwen said unhappily, why are you in a daze? Do it quickly. Good. The 3 of them started at the same time, taking advantage of the heavy injuries of the 6 Demon Kings. They gathered momentum and made a move. The attacks of the 3 people contained the law and landed on the barrier at the same time. The barrier shook violently and was about to collapse. Come again, Meng Anwen roared and attacked again. Without the support of the 6 Demon Kings, the barrier exploded under the attack of Meng Anwen and the others. At this time, the aura of law in Lin Moyu's hand flickered again. The second Law God Crystal was detonated. Violet light filled the sky, as if the God of Thunder had come in person, and a thunderstorm erupted again. The faces of the 6 Demon Kings who had been severely injured changed drastically, and at the same time they displayed the strongest defensive skills. Lei Guang exploded in front of him, screaming again and again. His injuries were even worse, and he was on the verge of death. Lin Moyu took out the 3rd Law God Crystal. Enough! A roar sounded, and a huge palm appeared in the air, and put away all the 6 Demon Kings. The giant palm contains astonishing laws, tearing a crack in the air, cutting off the breath of the 6 Demon Kings. Lin Moyu's soul can no longer lock them. With a shudder in his heart, it goes without saying that the only one who can do this step is the Demon Emperor. Lin Moyu quickly flew towards Mang Anwen and the others. "Teacher, are you all right?" "It's okay." Mang Anwen responded, and the three of them looked solemn. Compared to the Demon Emperor, the 6 high-ranking Demon Kings are nothing. Even if Lin Moyu can severely injure the high-level Demon King, he may not be able to beat the Demon King. The giant palm of the Demon Emperor did not move after putting away the 6 Demon Kings. Its voice resounded throughout the world, "Dragon Emperor, I have done what I should do, and I will leave the rest to you." A dragon's chant suddenly sounded in the void, "Okay." The Demon Emperor's giant palm grabbed the 6 Demon Kings and broke through the air without stopping at all. Only then did Lin Moyu realize that it was not the Demon Emperor who wanted to attack him, but the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor actually came to the Abyss world. "What an accident!" Lin Moyu said softly, "Teacher, you all entered my Demon Extinguishing Tower." Lin Moyu summoned the Demon Extinguishing Tower, which also has an independent space that can accommodate living beings. Mang Anwen asked, "Xiaoyu, what do you do?" Lin Moyu said, "It's okay, I can handle it." Mang Anwen knew that if he confronted the Dragon Emperor and Demon Emperor, he would be useless. How strong a half-step super god is, the higher their own level, the clearer they are. There is a world-like gap between level 96 and the Dragon Emperor Demon Emperor who is as high as level 99. They chose to believe in Lin Moyu. Mang Dingwen put away the god Shada, and got into Lin Moyu's demon tower together. Lin Moyu immediately included the exterminating demon tower in the soul world. At this point, Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief. Now he has regained the initiative, he can fight when he wants, and he can leave when he wants. In his opinion, the plans of the Demon Emperor and Dragon Emperor have failed. The surroundings suddenly became silent, and the space was divided and locked. The Abyss teleportation stone is invalid, but the Dragon Scale of Antares can still be used. If Lin Moyu wants to leave, he can leave now. However, it is easier to invite God than to send God away, and now Lin Moyu does not want to leave. Since he took so much pains to invite himself here, he would only leave after earning enough money. There was another dragon chant in the air, and Lin Moyu saw a dragon hovering in the air. This is a phantom, a scene that will only appear after the atavistic blood of the Dragon Clan is activated, of Zhao's. The majestic aura of the Dragon Emperor rolled over, pressing on Lin Moyu, as if to crush Lin Moyu. The Dragon Emperor is very strong. Once its ancestral blood is burned, it is almost an invincible existence in the half-step super god level. But in Lin Moyu's eyes, it's just a mixed blood dragon, not a real dragon at all. They are not even qualified to become servants of the Dragon Clan, and are not recognized at all. Antares didn't even want to talk about their origins, and was extremely disdainful. In the Phantom of the Dragon Emperor appeared in the air. The Dragon Emperor is more than 5 meters tall, with a huge body and a murderous look in his eyes. "Lin Moyu, you damn it." Ever since Lin Moyu blew up the Dragon Emperor's palace, the Dragon Emperor has been eager to beat Lin Moyu to ashes. What happened later deepened the hatred between the two. "That depends on whether you have the ability to kill me, mixed blood dragon." Lin Moyu disdainfully, and Gulei Wai Tower appeared in his hand. The inner and outer twin towers are connected to each other through the void, and the energy of the energy is transmitted from the Zhushan fortress into the outer tower. A sound of mixed blood dragon made the Dragon Emperor furious. It is a majestic Dragon Emperor, and Lin Moyu even called it a mixed blood dragon. "You're looking for death." The Dragon Emperor's murderous intent was boiling, and the power of law was surging around his body. He is a half-step super god-level existence, and he has already begun to try to control the law. The law of driving is completely different from the law of control. The law of driving is just to use the law to enhance one's combat power, and it will leave its own brand on it. But strictly speaking, the laws at this stage still belong to heaven and earth. You are just a user, not an owner. But to control the law is to accept the law as one's own, and to turn the laws of heaven and earth into one's own private property. Become the master of the law and use it at will. In this way, not only the power can be greatly increased, but also the degree of branding itself will be more profound. Even if Lin Moyu is immune to a certain element, he will still be hurt, but the damage will be weakened accordingly. The half-step super god level is beyond the level of driving the law, jumping to the stage of mastering the law, and the combat power is far superior to the high-level god level. To achieve this step, at least level 98 peak. Jiangyi was in this state before his fall. But the Dragon Emperor and Demon Emperor are stronger, they are both at the peak of level 99. One step further is the 100-level super god. The power of the Dragon Emperor is getting stronger and stronger, constantly oppressing Lin Moyu. It seemed to be playing with Lin Moyu, wanting to see Lin Moyu's frightened appearance. It even felt that 280 had already won the game, and it was not worried that Lin Moyu would run away. No matter how high-handed Lin Moyu is, he is only level 76. He is half-step super god, how can he be afraid of him? So even though Lin Moyu scolded it as a mixed-blood dragon, even though it was very angry, it didn't act right away. It's a pity that he was disappointed. Lin Moyu was not afraid at all. Not only was he not afraid, but he looked at it like a clown. The Dragon Emperor was a little surprised. Aren't you afraid? Lin Moyu sneered disdainfully. Afraid of what? Afraid of you, a bloody dragon? The Dragon Emperor roared again. Shut your mouth, I am the Dragon Emperor. Are you the Dragon Emperor? It's ridiculous. Will you be recognized by the real Dragon Clan? After leaving this little dragon world, what are you outside of? Antares said that you are a half-blood dragon, you will not accept to confront Antares. Lin Moyu's words pierced the Dragon Emperor's heart like a needle. The coercion of the Dragon Emperor skyrocketed again, pressing on Lin Moyu like an invisible giant mountain. Lin Moyu's body was shining with white light, continuously transmitting the invisible pressure to the undead army. Stress not only comes from the outside, but also from the soul. But Lin Moyu's original soul power is not weak, coupled with the existence of the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, the coercion of the Dragon Emperor did not play its due role. In the depths of the abyss, the Demon Emperor watched this scene with a cold expression on his face. I guessed right, Lin Moyu has a lot to do with it. With it, who can touch Lin Moyu? That idiot of the Dragon Emperor doesn't know it at all. Dazed by anger, Lin Moyu was right, miscellaneous dragons are miscellaneous dragons. Although the Demon Emperor agreed with the Dragon Emperor to ambush Lin Moyu in the abyss, he refused to do it himself. The Demon Emperor sent 6 high-ranking demon kings to surround the 3 of Meng Anwen without killing them. The job of killing Lin Moyu was left to the Dragon Emperor. It's not that the Demon Emperor didn't want to kill Lin Moyu, but he didn't dare to kill him. It has the big Buddha Antares behind Lin Moyu, and it turned out to be so. The Dragon Emperor was stunned by Lin Moyu's mouthful of mixed-blood dragons. The Dragon Emperor's patience reached its limit. Go to hell. The power of the law crashed down, and the huge force seemed to be falling, and the space was full of cracks. Lin Moyu did not give in. You are not qualified to kill me. The outer pagoda of Gulay burst into dazzling light, and a purple cloud rose from the top of the tower. Boom! The thunder light exploded, and a large void collapsed. God-killing thunder, and it is a god-killing thunder with laws. Although Lin Moyu has not yet mastered the law, even driving the law is very difficult, but he has Galeta. The god execution fortress where Galeta is located has accumulated power for thousands of years, so huge. At this time, through the connection between the inner and outer twin towers, it is being continuously transmitted. Lin Moyu uses Galeta to master the law, and its power is not weak at all. The forces of the two sides collided in the limited space, and the space cut out by the Dragon King collapsed instantly. Terrifying force impacted on him. Lin Moyu took advantage of the momentum to retreat, and at the same time his face turned pale. The attack just now relied on Galeta's control law, but the backlash of the law still needs Lin Moyu to bear it by himself. The ray of split soul split by the split soul method was annihilated on the spot, and Lin Moyu was slightly injured, but on the surface Lin Moyu still pretended to be nothing. Nothing happened. At this moment, he would absolutely not let the Dragon Emperor see his strangeness. The Dragon Emperor was shocked and angry. He couldn't believe that Lin Moyu could make such an attack. I said, you can't kill me. Lin Moyu's eyes were full of sarcasm, and the Goulet outer tower in his hand was shining again, and the purple lightning wrapped around the tower body, rattling. This seemingly inconspicuous small tower continuously exudes the power zone of the law of thunder and lightning. Even if the Dragon Emperor didn't want to admit it, the blow just now was quite powerful. It narrowed its eyes. What is this? He had never been to the ancient city of Xinxia in person, nor had he seen the Goulet pagoda with his own eyes, so he couldn't recognize this pagoda. The Demon Emperor, who was far away in the abyss, narrowed his eyes and said in shock, Gouleta, why did he bring Goulet Tower out? And just now Zushunlai is very powerful, even comparable to that fellow Dragon Emperor. The Demon Emperor is different from the Dragon Emperor. It has seen the Goulet Tower with its own eyes, and it also collided with Zushunlai not long ago. At that time, Zhu Xunlei's power was not that great. At most it was close to a high-level Demon King's full-strength attack, which was considered a peak attack without using the law. But now, Zhu Xunlei has integrated the law, and its power has become extremely astonishing. It has already surpassed the high-level god level, and can already fight against half-step super-gods. The Demon Emperor faintly felt that something was wrong. The problem is not with Lin Moyu, but with Goulet Pagoda, the ancient city of Xinxia. This ancient city is very unusual, wrong, very wrong. Its gaze is very complicated. Lin Moyu is only level 76 now. Even if his soul is extremely powerful, he won't be so fascinated. If you wait for Lin Moyu to become a god and then manipulate Gouleta, I'm afraid it will pose a threat to me. At this moment, the Demon King wanted to strike, and wiped out Lin Moyu with a thunderbolt. But suddenly it thought of Antares, the invincible existence standing behind Lin Moyu. The Demon Emperor shuddered all over and dared not move. It doesn't want to die yet. After living for so many years, it won't be so stupid as to seek death by itself. The Demon Emperor is very calm when he is out of business. But the Dragon Emperor in the world is not so calm. It roared again and again, impossible, absolutely impossible. The Emperor absolutely does not believe that your strength is so strong. Amidst the roar, the ancestral blood was activated, and the phantom of the dragon appeared in the air. The Dragon Emperor attacked again, more violently than before. Shenlong Huing rushed straight down, as if to devour Lin Moyu alive. Lin Moyu showed no fear at all, pointing out with one hand. The outer tower of Goulet once again fired a purple god-killing thunder, which was more powerful than before. The roar resounded through the sky, and the void of the abyss world was blasted into pieces by the Shinshin thunder. The two sides were evenly matched. Lin Moyu flew back again in the thunder, his face turned slightly pale and he returned to normal in an instant. Another ray of soul was destroyed, and Lin Moyu was injured again. According to Lin Moyu's current soul strength, destroying 5 consecutive souls in a short period of time is the limit, no more. Any more and it will hurt the foundation. The thunder in the sky blocked the Dragon Emperor's sight, and it failed to notice Lin Moyu's abnormality. Impossible, this is impossible. The Emperor will never believe it. The Emperor is going to kill you. The Dragon Emperor was still roaring, and Shenlong Shuiying also roared, emitting a strong breath. Lin Moyu's complexion changed slightly, and he played Zushunlai again. Lin Moyu was ruthless, without any sign of weakness. The purple god-killing thunder, which also possesses the power of the powerful law of thunder and lightning, roared loudly. Once again, it met the attack of the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor's eyes were slightly cold, and when the two sides were about to collide, he waved his big hand violently. Its attack deviates immediately, appearing in front of Lin Moyu like a teleportation. It avoided the collision with Zhu Xunlei and directly attacked Lin Moyu's body. With killing intent in Lin Moyu's eyes, Zushunlai also instantly changed direction and blasted towards the Dragon Emperor, while he did not dodge or evade, and directly took the Dragon Emperor's attack. Under the power of the law, the soul is locked and cannot be dodged. Not only for Lin Moyu, but also for Dragon Emperor. The two sides seemed to be desperate, not giving in to each other. Shenlong Shuiying bit Lin Moyu and swallowed him. The terrifying law exploded, and amidst the roar, an earth-shattering explosion rose from Lin Moyu's body. Zhu Xunlei also landed on the Dragon Emperor at the same time, and the Dragon Emperor was also engulfed by the Sea of Purple Thunder. The Dragon Emperor flew out from the Purple Sea of Thunder, its whole body was entwined by the power of laws, and an armor made of laws appeared on its body to protect it. The law armor had obviously been blown apart by Zhu Xunlei. The Dragon Emperor's expression was not good, and the clothes on his body were also damaged in several places. It was injured and failed to completely block the god-killing thunder. Zhu Xunlei is extremely powerful, comparable to the Dragon Emperor's full blow. Although it was injured and a little embarrassed, its expression was extremely excited, and its eyes were full of blood. Although Lin Moyu's attack is not weak, it is impossible to kill himself, at most he will hurt himself. On the other hand, Lin Moyu is only level 76. Although he doesn't know what method he used, his attack power is extremely strong, but his defense power is weak. It seemed to have predicted that Lin Yu would be killed by his own laws. But in the next second, its eyes suddenly shrank, and the bloodlust in the eyes was replaced by shock. Lin Moyu flew out of the explosion unscathed, without any defensive skills on his body, and his clothes were not damaged. This is impossible. The Dragon Emperor kept roaring. Nothing is impossible. Lin Moyu drank in a cold voice, pointing his finger, and there was another song of Zhu Xunlei Bang Long Tomb. The Dragon Emperor's face changed drastically, and he rushed to resist. In the sound of the explosion, the Dragon Emperor was blown up, the law armor was shattered, part of the huge body was blown to bloody flesh, and was injured again. Lin Moyu did not pursue. He was not uninjured in the Dragon Emperor's attack. The Dragon Emperor's attack is extremely powerful, how could he not be injured? The undead army has been destroyed twice in a row, and has been reborn in the summoning space twice in a row. If it weren't for the passive skill of being undead, he would be in danger. Soul skill, spell damage transfer. Passive skill, undead. Active skill, undead lich. Unique talent, comprehensive new life. The combination of the 4 life-saving skills has pushed Lin Moyu's survivability to the limit. In particular, the talent of the all-round newborn, which was only awakened at the 3rd turn at level 70, is even more terrifying. At that time even Antares was taken aback, unable to believe how he had such a perverted talent. The damage transfer, which has become a soul skill, cooperates with the comprehensive increased talent to greatly reduce the damage, and it can ensure that Lin Moyu is not harmed before the undead army dies. Undead can allow Lin Moyu's undead army to die 3 times in 5 minutes. The aura of the undead lich can make Lin Moyu and his undead army die 1 more time. The last is the comprehensive new talent. In 1 minute, when Lin Moyu and his undead army face death for the 5th time, this talent will activate. To save Lin Moyu and his undead army from death again, and all return to peak condition, reset all skills. In this way, the undead skills are reset, and the undead skills are also reset. Lin Moyu can take 4 more fatal blows. The strongest part of this talent is that its cooldown time is only 1 minute. As long as he can last a minute, Lin Moyu can come back for another round. The cycle goes on, endlessly. Even Antares once lamented that it was really not easy to kill Lin Moyu. Just now, the Dragon Emperor's blow activated the passive skills of the undead, and the undead army had already died for 2 consecutive rounds. According to Lin Moyu's words, Dragon King, you are proud enough. 1 more time. Lin Moyu calculated in his mind. Zhulation can be used again. If the Dragon Emperor does not retreat, then he should dodge. The Dragon Emperor, who was blown into the distance, rushed back with a roar, at an astonishingly fast speed, as if teleporting. At this time, the fangs of the Dragon Emperor's mouth are much bigger than usual, and the dragon's body is about to turn into a giant dragon. It is completely different from just now. This is its state when it is desperate. Also known as Hualong. In this state, the Dragon Emperor's combat power has greatly increased, but it will also become weak afterwards. This is not the Dragon World, but the Devil. The Dragon Emperor still needs to guard against the Demon Emperor, so he shouldn't have used Hualong. But now it doesn't care much, it wants to kill Lin Moyu. A phantom of a dragon appeared in the sky again. this time it was not a single dragon, there were 100 phantoms of a dragon. Each dragon phantom has some differences in appearance, some are big and some are small, some are strong and some are weak. But without exception, the phantom of the dragon is full of the power of law. Shenlong destroys the world. The dragon emperor roared angrily, and the phantom of the 100-headed dragon rushed towards Lin Moyu fiercely. Lin Moyu's face changed drastically. The dragon emperor is going to do his best. Zhu Shenlei fired again, and the purple light exploded and turned into a sea of thunder, destroying dozens of weak dragon phantoms. But there were more phantoms of Shenlong pounced on Lin Moyu. The law exploded, the roar continued, and the space collapsed again, revealing a pitch-black void. Go to hell. The dragon emperor glared angrily, his eyes full of killing intent. It burned its ancestral blood at any cost, and this attack was not a small burden for it. When the demon emperor saw the roar of the Bai Long, he couldn't help but sneered, no wonder. All the dragon clan who had atavistic blood for thousands of years died in the end, so it was your hands. It can tell at a glance that these divine dragon phantoms are all inspired by the blood of returning to the ancestors. Where does the dragon emperor get so many atavistic bloodlines alone? The answer is self-evident. For thousands of years, the dragon clan has produced many members with atavistic bloodlines, but all of them died in the end. In fact, most of them were killed by the dragon emperor, who was afraid that they would threaten his dominance. The demon emperor narrowed his eyes. Lin Moyu is in danger this time. Antares, why don't you do it? Wanting another space, Antares also stared at the battle. It has not made a move yet, because it knows the details of Lin Moyu. With astonishing law power, the dragon's roar hit Lin Moyu like a tsunami. Lin Moyu was blown away without any resistance, and the power of law blasted him dirty. The undead skills were activated again, and the undead army died and reborn for the third time. Then the undead lich flashed past Lin Moyu, the aura of undead took effect, and he was reborn for the fourth time. But the power of the law has not disappeared, still attacking Lin Moyu. The fifth time. Innate skills, fully stimulate new students. This is the first time this talent has been stimulated in actual combat. Lin Moyu's whole body was shrouded in dazzling light, and then a group of purple flames rose into the sky. Like a phoenix, Lin Moyu was reborn in flames. The phantom of the dragon was completely erased by the purple flame. Not only Lin Moyu was reborn, but also the undead army was reborn. The cooldown of the undead and undead aura also disappeared at the same time, returning to the peak state. Lin Moyu's face was full of excitement. The purple light of the outer tower of the ancient thunder in his hand exploded, and the purple god-killing thunder blasted on the dragon emperor. The dragon emperor in the state of transforming into a dragon was blown away, his skin torn to pieces. But also because of the state of the dragon, its defense has been improved a lot. Under the protection of the law armor, the injury is not serious. Impossible, I don't believe it. Lin Moyu's unscathed appearance provoked the dragon emperor. The dragon emperor rushed towards Lin Moyu like crazy, and a huge axe appeared in his hand. The giant axe is entangled with laws, and just holding it in the hand can make the space shatter, and its power is extremely powerful. The moment he took out the giant axe, the dragon emperor's aura surged violently, as if he had reached another realm. Lin Moyu was shocked. The dragon emperor was different from before. A strong danger grew in his heart, and his soul kept sending out warnings. The dragon emperor in this state is invincible. With a move of Lin Moyu's soul, 3 consecutive thunderbolts blasted in the air. Purple light filled the sky, and a sea of thunder emerged, blocking sight. At the same time as the thunder god was sent out, the soul moved, activating the dragon scales of Antares. The dragon emperor killed 263 from the sea of thunder, covered in blood and scorched earth. But at this time, the trace of Lin Moyu has been lost, and he can't find it with eyes, and the soul lock has also been lost suddenly just now. 2 seconds later, the dragon emperor realized that Lin Moyu had escaped, and it was furious. Get out, don't run away if you're a bitch. Get out. This emperor chopped you up. The dragon emperor looked like a madman, and his huge axe slashed in the void, creating terrifying cracks in the air. The Demon Emperor saw Lin Moyu leave with his own eyes, and saw the Dragon Emperor go crazy and angry again, with disdain. What an idiot, if Lin Moyu doesn't leave, you will die. Will it be great to hold the Dragon Emperor battle axe in the future? In front of it, it will be useless to give you thousands of Dragon Emperor battle axes. The Demon Emperor withdrew his gaze and didn't want to look at the Dragon Emperor again. The Demon Emperor disdained such a retarded and brainless guy very much. It leaned lazily on the Demon Emperor's throne, with complicated eyes, and muttered to itself, how should I get along with Lin Moyu next? This guy can't be killed, he can't surrender. If you don't surrender, I'm afraid he'll go straight into the abyss when he's half-step supernatural. Can I stop him? It's really a headache, how could such a guy come out of the human race? I'm bored to death. At this time, the Demon Emperor lost his former splendor, and looked like an ordinary person who was worrying about certain things. Antares looked at Lin Moyu, who appeared not far away. Have you played enough? With excitement, Lin Moyu said, well, enough is enough. What's so happy about it? Antares was a little surprised. Why was he so happy when he couldn't escape? Lin Moyu had nothing to hide from Antares. Do you still remember the talent I awakened at the third turn? Remember, full rebirth is a perverted talent. The chance of rebirth once a minute is disgusting. Antares couldn't help complaining, and at the same time, it felt that this talent was so good for itself. Lin Moyu said, I found another use for it. When it is reborn, it regenerates the soul. Boom. Antares' head slammed onto the ground, making a big crater, and the streamers in the sky instantly became chaotic and exploded into fireworks. Lin Moyu asked, strangely, as for such a big movement? Impossibility was written in Antares' eyes, and he swallowed hard. You said, this talent can even regenerate a soul? Really, can you make a mistake? Lin Moyu is very sure, it can't be wrong. He used the soul division method to separate a ray of soul, to drive the law and bear the backlash of the law. Without affecting its own foundation, up to 5 strands can be separated. At that time Lin Moyu already wanted to leave, but the Dragon Emperor's attack was too violent, and he activated the full-scale newborn talent all at once. Lin Moyu was surprised to find that not only was he saved from death, but the cooldown of his skills was restored, the undead army was reborn, and even his soul was reborn. That is to say, 5 strands of souls can be separated again, and continue to use Zushanlai. How could Lin Moyu not be excited about this discovery? He has a whole new appreciation for his talent, and it's just too strong. Antares stared at Lin Moyu, muttering, pervert, so perverted, how could he have such a talent? Lin Moyu asked, strangely, in the outside world, there are countless strong people, don't they have such talent? Antares shook his head, I've never heard of it. Talents that can involve the soul are rare, and the effect is not too strong. Your talent that can restore the soul is really unheard of. Having never even heard of Antares, Lin Moyu realized that his talent might be really great. Antares' tone suddenly became serious, you must never tell others that you have such a talent in the future, it will be dangerous. In its words, the air suddenly became thicker, and the atmosphere instantly became different. Lin Moyu was also infected, whispered, what danger? Antares said, there are some evil methods that can take people's talents away. Lin Moyu suddenly had a creepy feeling, there is such a method. Indeed, there are countless powerful people in the world, and anything is possible. My own world is just a small island in the sea, the outside world is very dangerous, anything is possible. Lin Moyu calmed down from the excitement and warned himself not to take it lightly. The world is far from being as simple as I thought. Lin Moyu said, I know, I won't tell anyone. Antares hummed, also, Galeta is just a foreign object after all, and you can't rely too much on it. Moreover, with your strength, it is not enough to exert the full power of Galeta, let alone control the god of death. Fortress. Lin Moyu accepted it humbly, he knew he was still far behind. Thank you. Lin Moyu sincerely thanked. Antares snorted, no need, just stop talking to me in the future. No problem. Lin Moyu said with a smile, agree first, then talk, as to whether it can be done, that's not the same thing. Lin Moyu is really grateful to Antares. If it weren't for Antares' dragon scale this time, he might be in danger. The giant axe that the Dragon Emperor took out at the end was terrifying. Antares, the Dragon Emperor, finally took out a giant axe. Antares said, "I know, that is a super god-level weapon." Holding it, the Dragon Emperor can infinitely approach the super god level, and you are not an opponent. Lin Moyu asked, strangely, a super god-level weapon, isn't that something that a super god can control and use? His axe is a bit special, and the axe does more than one job. Anyway, you should be careful in the future, unless you have reached super god-level combat power, otherwise you can dodge as far as you see that axe can do. Lin Moyu was secretly surprised, even Antares said so, it must not be false. The grading of equipment also has the same effect. Above the legendary level is the mythical level, and above the mythical level is the super god level. Super god level weapons have only appeared in legends, at least they did not exist in the history of the human race. Lin Moyu thought 5.8 times in his eyes, does the Demon Emperor also have a super god level weapon in his hand? That's right. Antares didn't deny it, telling the truth. Lin Moyu continued to ask, the God of Righteousness said that even if I reach the super god level, I can't destroy the Abyss Dragons. Is it related to this weapon? Antares looked at Lin Moyu, laughed and said, did you guess it? Hearing this, Lin Moyu actually already had an answer. He told the truth, half and half, bold assumptions, careful verification, you know. Antares laughed, it is indeed related to this weapon. Lin Moyu muttered to himself, it seems that this weapon can not only bring them infinitely close to the super god level, but also exert power beyond the super god level. And they are not creatures of this world, so this weapon can't summon other powerful people over. You can get out. Antares glared at Lin Moyu and shouted loudly. Antares drove Lin Moyu away with anger and depression. It obviously only said a little bit of information, but Lin Moyu made another analysis and analyzed a lot. And it's obviously half a guess, but it's still very close to guessing. Antares felt that every minute he stayed with Lin Moyu was a blow to his IQ. The human world is in full swing due to war. There is blood and blood everywhere, a large number of human races died in battle, and many small forces were completely destroyed. The human race has not experienced such a war for hundreds of years, and the human race suffered huge casualties in just 2 days. The battlefield is not only in the Yuan battlefield but also in the human world. The Xinxia Empire opened the Eternal Great Wall with minimal casualties. In the battlefield of the Yuan dynasty, the 9 fortresses of the Xinxia Empire were connected together, like a wall of iron and steel, firmly guarding the line of defense. The god-level powerhouses went out to fight one after another, fighting with the Demon King and Dragon King, and the battle was extremely fierce. As long as the Yuan battlefield is guarded, the combined army of demons and dragons will not be able to directly reach the Xinxia Empire in the human world. And the fortresses of those small forces are more miserable, their defenses are quickly overwhelmed, and the fortresses are destroyed. Afterwards, the allied army of dragons and demons passed through the fortress and entered the human world. As soon as it appeared, it was outside the Gate 02 of these forces, and then there was a great war in the human world. Lives were devastated, and countless casualties. Small and powerful countries were destroyed in the flames of war. The professionals were crushed and fled in all directions. They have nowhere to ask for help, and now all countries are unable to protect themselves. The Xinxia Empire closed its gates tightly, and each city opened up defensive formations, almost covering the whole country. Once the Eternal Great Wall is opened, the Xinxia Empire will not allow anyone to enter. Even if you are from Xinxia. No one knows whether the person who came in is a spy of the devil, or whether he has something to do with the worship of the devil. If one is missed, it may cause more casualties. At this moment, there is no humanity to speak of, no sympathy. The only thing left is trade-offs. But no matter how strong the Eternal Great Wall is, it can't stop Antares. Antares teleported at a fixed point and sent Lin Moyu back to Baishan Courtyard directly. No matter how fierce the outside war is, Baishan courtyard is still very quiet, like a paradise. Lin Moyu released Mang Anwen and the others from the demon extinguishing tower. The three of them stayed in the demon extinguishing tower for half a day, and their injuries healed a lot. We're back? Bai Yuan seemed to be in disbelief, wondering if he had read it wrong. Yan Guangxing said angrily, nonsense. Both of them are lucky to survive the catastrophe. Although they are not afraid of death, no one will think about dying. Mang Anwen was much calmer than Bai Yuan. Xiaoyu, are you alright? Lin Moyu shook his head, it's okay, although I can't beat the Dragon Emperor, there is no problem in protecting myself. Mang Anwen hummed. He knew Lin Moyu's abilities more deeply than Bai Yuan and Yan Guangxing. Especially with Antares behind Lin Moyu, it is really not difficult to protect himself. So at that time, he entered the demon extinguishing tower without hesitation. In fact, he didn't want to drag Lin Moyu down. Bai Yuan looked at the sky. Because of the formation, the sunlight in the sky shifted. Mang Anwen glanced at it, and already knew it in his heart, the Eternal Great Wall has been activated. It seems that I expected it. The dragons and demons really attack. This time they are three-pronged, killing 3 birds with 1 stone. Yan Kuang said coldly, if you don't move, you'll be fine, if you move, you'll kill. The Demon Emperor and Dragon Emperor are indeed very ruthless. Lin Moyu asked, Teacher, how is the situation now? Mang Anwen released the god Shada, let me see. Shin Shada kept spinning in the air, flying out a large number of runes and blending into the formation. The magnificent formation of the Eternal Great Wall not only connects the 9 fortresses on the Yuan battlefield, but also connects the Xinxia Empire. Its scale is even larger than the Soul Melting Formation. The Eternal Great Wall is the result of the efforts of generations of Shinmu people. It is the accumulation of hundreds of years, and finally it is slowly arranged and formed. After Mang Anwen became a god-level formation master, he began to be responsible for the maintenance of the formation of the Eternal Great Wall. So Mang Anwen knows the formation well. Through the formation induction, Mang Anwen discovered that the Eternal Great Wall was intact. There are only a few small leaks, which are harmless. Mang Anwen breathed a sigh of relief, the Great Wall of Eternity is still there. Several people also breathed a sigh of relief, as long as the Eternal Great Wall is still in the Xinzhong Empire, there will be no worries. Bai Yuan gritted his teeth, Lao Mang, send us to the battlefield, I want to kill people. These few days he was very depressed, first he was trapped forcibly, and then almost killed Lin Moyu. He wants to vent, and vent violently. Yan Guangxing was in the same state as Bai Yuan, and he was also full of anger. Mang Anwen said, Fortress number 9 and Fort number 8 are under the most intense attack and the pressure is the greatest. You two should go there separately. Lao Bai goes to Fort number 9-inch. Medical seat number 8. Wait. Bai Yuan yelled, Fortress number 9? Yi Hao, Wang Lin's place, can you change it? Mang Anwen's face straightened, no. What time is it now, you still care about these things. Also, Senior Yi Hao seems to have figured it out, besides, the demon extinguishing tower is in Xiaoyu's hands, why are you still so stingy? Bai Yuan stared at Mang Anwen, you did it on purpose. Mang Anwen snorted, whatever you think. Shin Shata has already connected with the Eternal Great Wall, a light fell, and Mang Anwen popped up a law, forming an array in an instant. No matter whether Bai Yuan agrees or not, he is directly sent to Fortress number 9. Then Yan Guangxing was sent to Fortress number 8. These two places are the two most stressful fortresses in the Yuan battlefield, and the fighting is also the most intense. But now that Bai Yuan and Yan Guangxing have joined, Mang Anwen knows that he should have no worries. Lin Moyu asked, Teacher, what about us? Mang Anwen raised his head and looked in one direction, we don't go to the Yuan battlefield, we guard the gate of the country. Shin Shata sprinkled brilliance again, formed a formation in the air, and teleported away with the two of them. The sound of the waves rushed towards their faces, and the two had already reached the northeastmost part of the empire. Mang Anwen took Lin Moyu across the border, left the formation range of the Eternal Great Wall, and continued to fly 100 miles northeast. At this time, the border of the Xinxia Empire was already behind them. Try not to burn the flames of war to the country, and keeping the enemy out is the best way to fight. Meng Anwen got a lot of information through the formation of the Eternal Great Wall. Lin Moyu didn't need to ask more, just followed. Meng Anwen pointed to the northeast. Do you know what country is in that direction? Lin Moyu nodded. The country of cherry blossoms, the country of kimchi, and a few unremarkable small island countries. Meng Anwen nodded. There will be a good show soon. Less than 5 minutes after Meng Anwen finished speaking, a powerful wave of energy suddenly came. The energy is very strong, with the breath of law. It's just that this kind of law is a bit weird and very blunt. Lin Moyu looked up and saw a giant in the sky hundreds of kilometers away. It can be seen hundreds of kilometers away, which shows how big this giant is, and it is estimated that it is more than a few thousand meters away. It can be said to be indomitable. What did Lin Moyu think? Is this the god of thought in the country of cherry blossoms? Meng Anwen smiled and nodded. That's right, that's it. Lin Moyu seems to know something. Sakura Kingdom has even used the god of mind. It seems that they are in danger. This is the fact. The god of mind is the ultimate whole card of the Sakura Kingdom. If even it is used, it means that the Sakura Kingdom is almost the same. Then there was another violent shaking between the sky and the earth, and also 100 kilometers away, a high mountain rose from the ground, turning into a powerful warrior in midair. The god of mind in Kimchi Country has also awakened. The fortresses of Sakura Country and Kimchi Country in Yuan battlefield were not defended. The allied forces of dragons and demons drove straight in, directly hitting the entrance of their country, and carried out the act of destroying the country. At the time of life and death, the two countries used their trump cards to awaken the gods of their minds. This is the last whole card. It can only be used once, and it will only be used when life and death are needed. The god of mind in Sakura Country is as high as level 98, very powerful and can last for 24 hours. But if the battle is intense enough, the maintenance time will be further shortened. The god of mind in Kimchi Kingdom is relatively weaker, only level 96, but it can also drive laws. Lin Moyu looked at the god of mind. Are we guarding here to prevent the alliance of dragons and demons? Meng Anwen nodded first, and then shook his head slowly. Not all of them. In addition to the dragon and demon coalition forces, we also need to guard against their gods of mind. Lin Moyu was taken aback, and instantly understood why. They will drag us into the water? Meng Anwen hummed. Tian has 8 pages. If they can't stop the dragon-demon coalition, it is very likely that the god of mind will attack us and tear apart our defenses. You can understand it as dragging us into the water, or you can understand it as diverting the water to the east, using our Xinxia Empire to attract the attention of the dragon and demon coalition forces. Lin Moyu naturally understands this truth. The relationship between the Cherry Blossom Country and the Kimchi Country and the Xinxia Empire is not very friendly. The two sides have had many conflicts for many years. If it wasn't for the fear of each other, maybe they would have fought a long time ago. Now that they are about to destroy the country, the Xinxia Empire has not taken any action, let alone support them. At the last moment, in order to keep more Chinese people and give them a chance to escape, they may really cause trouble. Meng Anwen and Lin Moyu guarded here, not only to prevent the dragon and demon coalition forces, but also to guard against their god of mind. The god of thought in the Sakura Kingdom kept roaring, the heaven and the earth shook, and the laws flew. It is very strong, up to level 98, only a little weaker than half-step Chaos Hen. Under its attack, the dragon and demon coalition forces suffered heavy casualties. Lin Moyu said, maybe the Sakura Kingdom can block it, and the god of mind can last 24 hours and can do many things. Meng Anwen doesn't think so, it's unstoppable. The power of the god of mind comes from the beliefs of the people. When the people die and the faith collapses, the god of mind will also collapse. We were afraid of their mind gods before, because we are both human races, and it is impossible to carry out acts of massacre. But now they are facing the Dragon-Demon Alliance. What do you think? Lin Moyu was surprised. Thinking about what Meng Anwen said carefully, it was true. And Lin Moyu also understood why Meng Anwen didn't plan to support the Sakura Kingdom, and there was not even a single movement in the Xinxia Empire. The reason is that the Xinxia Empire has been attacked by demons several times and the city was massacred. At that time, it was the coastal city behind them, very close to the country of cherry blossoms and the country of kimchi. They also remained silent at that time, not only did not come to support, but even mocked them later. So until now, the Xinxia Empire is just watching helplessly as they are about to be destroyed. This is also a trade-off. It is impossible to sacrifice the people of the Xinxia Empire for them. Meng Anwen and Lin Moyu watched the god of ideas fight wildly. The law swayed like rain, and a large number of dragon and demon coalition forces were killed, but the god of thought is also weakening at an alarming rate. They knew very well that the allied forces of dragon and devil began to massacre the city. The death of a large number of citizens will sharply weaken the god of mind. If this goes on, the god of mind will not last long, at most it will take half a day. Lin Moyu said in a deep voice. Meng Anwen shook his head, it won't take half a day, and it will be almost a few hours. We are ready, they will come at any time. Lin Moyu hummed, and palmed, the ancient outer tower was already in his hand. If the god of thought really came, Lin Moyu would let them feel what despair is. There is nothing wrong with wanting to save the lives of our own citizens. However, Lin Moyu said that they were thinking too much if they wanted to divert the water to the east and take advantage of the safety of the Xinxia people to protect them. The god of mind is getting weaker and weaker, whether it is the country of cherry blossoms or the country of kimchi. A large number of citizens in their country were massacred. Without the support of faith, the god of faith will cease to exist. The god of mind in Sakura country has dropped from level 98 to level 97. And even level 97 is not stable. The god of mind in Kimchi Kingdom was even worse, he couldn't even stabilize at level 96, and fell to level 95, losing the power of law. Suddenly, as if they had made an agreement, they changed direction at the same time and began to rush towards the Xinxia Empire. Coming. Meng Anwen gave a soft drink. Lin Moyu said, leave the cherry blossom country to me. Okay. Meng Anwen didn't refuse. The god of intent flew towards the Xinxia Empire, and behind them was the dark coalition of dragons and demons, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, flying over like dark clouds. The two gods of mind seemed to be leading the way for the dragon and demon coalition forces, aiming at the Xinxia Empire. Lin Moyu's eyes were full of murderous intent, and the outer tower of Gulay communicated with the god-killing fortress, and huge power was being transmitted continuously. Thunder light flickered on the outer tower of Gulay, and the aura of law permeated the air. The god of mind found Meng Anwen and Lin Moyu, but it didn't stop. Now he wants to bring these dragon-allied forces behind him to the Xinxia Empire and let them attack the Xinxia Empire. At the same time, it also buys time for its own citizens, time to escape. When the god of mind was less than a kilometer away from Lin Moyu pointed out, Zhu Xunlei. After being integrated into the law, Zhu Xunlei is currently the strongest attack that Lin Moyu can use, even if the power of detonating the law god star is not as powerful as it. With all his strength, Zhu Xunlei's power reached half a step super god, enough to face the dragon emperor head-on. The god-killing thunder landed on the god of mind in the cherry blossom country, turning into a sea of purple thunder and swallowing it directly. A half-step super god-level attack is simply not something it can resist. It screamed in the sea of thunder, and its aura quickly weakened. Those dragon and demon coalition forces that followed were also partly swallowed by the sea of thunder, and there were no whole bodies. Lin Moyu's figure flickered slightly, a wisp of soul was destroyed, and his face couldn't help turning pale. In the next second, Lin Moyu sent out a strand of soul again, and at the same time a god-killing thunder flew out. Amidst the roar, the sea of thunder that hadn't disappeared expanded rapidly, completely engulfing the god of mind in Sakura Kingdom. Lin Moyu's face was paler, but his eyes were shining. He received a reminder that he had killed the god of mind. Kill the guardian angel of cherry blossom, experience, +***, General Star +1. The kingdom of cherry blossoms is not friendly to the god, good kings, Xia Empire, and even a little bit at odds, killing their god of mind. Besides experience, there are generals. Before, Lin Moyu was short of 13 general stars before he could become a 6-star god general. Now that he has obtained 1 general star, he can be promoted to a 6-star god general by killing 12 more god-level beings. The human race has not had a 6-star general for a long time. Lin Moyu's eyes were slightly cold, and he no longer used Zhu Shunlei. The undead army came out in response. The sky became pitch black, the projection of the undead world descended, the gate of the undead appeared, and the eyes of the undead opened in the undead flames, taking away a large number of living beings. The Headless Horseman launched a dashing skill and entered the Dragon Demon Alliance army, followed by the Skeleton Berserker. The elemental explosion of the Skeleton Archmage and the soul shooting of the Sharpshooter continued to harvest the Dragon and Demon Coalition forces. The Skeleton Throne appeared in the air, and the Skeleton King came out in response, wielding a new sword. Lin Moyu let out a soft drink, cast his power-gathering skill, and drew out 2 huge swords at the same time, and also charged in. At this moment, Lin Moyu has no use other than strong soldiers, and he is already fully fired. Lin Moyu's whole body was glowing. When the battle started just now, when he killed the God of Mind in Sakura Kingdom with Zhu Shunlei, he had already upgraded. It's level 77, and its combat power has improved again. Lin Moyu is equipped with power-gathering skills and is blessed with a scepter of the monarch. His attributes exceed 14 million, which is comparable to a 94-level god-level powerhouse. Lin Moyu inherited all the skills of the undead army, including the skills of the Skeleton King. And he also has his own skills, which are stronger than the undead army. At this moment, he is the most powerful person in the entire army. Skill, Slay God. Skill, Elemental Riot. Soul skill, Corpse Explosion. One skill after another was used, and the Dragon and Demon Coalition army suffered countless casualties in an instant. Lin Moyu is like entering the land of no one, because of the enemy. Lin Moyu was excited to kill, his face was full of excitement, and he was surrounded by enemies. He didn't need to aim his skills, he just bombed indiscriminately. On the other side, Meng Anwen launched a formation to trap and kill the God of Mind in the Kimchi Kingdom. When he looked back at Lin Moyu, he was stunned. He never imagined that Lin Moyu had such a wild side. Isn't Xiaoyu from the mage department? Why do you like Rubo? Lin Moyu doesn't look like a mage now, he is completely a berserker. No. More violent than a berserker. Lin Moyu likes this kind of sword-to-flesh feeling very much, it is very exciting. Since playing dungeons a long time ago, he has often been used as a meat shield to attract firepower for the undead army. 613. And it didn't give up its own professional skills, curse, control, corpse burst, everything. The elemental lich burned his body and flew, and every undead had a halo under their feet. The halo is gorgeous, but it is not strong enough. From the perspective of strength, it seems to have fallen behind. Lin Moyu knew that this was because the materials for summoning the elemental lich were not good enough. In the future, using those legendary or even mythical materials to summon the elemental lich will definitely make the elemental lich stronger. Just like the flame lich seen during the skill demonstration, it can burn the dragon to death. Gathering skill in Lin Moyu's constant killing, the duration of the skill is getting longer and longer, with no end in sight. The soul that was slightly damaged by the use of the soul-splitting method just now also recovered from the killing, and even the soul level was slightly improved. Lin Moyu likes this feeling, which fascinates him. The improvement of the soul level is the most difficult, and every improvement is good. After the god level, the improvement of the soul level is also the most critical. If this kind of battle can continue forever, Lin Moyu believes that it won't take long for him to step into level 93 and reach the middle god level. At that time, both himself and the Skeleton King will become stronger, and their combat power will be greatly improved. If you use the strong soldier skill at the same time, when you kill the enemy, will the soul level, acti, increase a little faster? Lin Moyu suddenly had such an idea. A powerful aura rises from the front, and a more powerful Dragon King demon rises up. Lin Moyu's eyes glowed. It's just right, let's use you as an experiment. Soul skill, strong soldiers. The strong soldier skill is activated suddenly, and the power of the soul is greatly reduced instantly. Lin Moyu underestimated the consumption of using two skills at the same time, which is several times higher than using one skill alone. With his level 77 soul power, using two skills at the same time can only last for 3 seconds. He used corpse explosion several times in a row to kill a large number of demons before extending the duration of the skill. After using the strong soldier skill, the attribute is limited by the soul level and does not increase. But the attack power has directly increased by 500%. The strong soldier skill has its own law, which is a law that even Lin Moyu can't understand. It directly increases the damage, and the effect is extremely obvious. This skill, which has brought Lin Moyu amazing results countless times, is still powerful until now. Those dragon and demon coalition forces who were carrying out massacres in the kimchi country of the cherry blossom country discovered the fighting situation here and rushed over one after another. Leading the way are 4 demon kings and dragon kings over level 94. One of them is Lin Moyu's old acquaintance, Black Sky Demon King. Lin Moyu. Haitian Demon King saw Lin Moyu at a glance, and his circle boiled. Lin Moyu also saw it, and said softly, "It's great to come." Just as the god-slaying skill recovered, the soul instantly locked on to the 4 of them, and swung a sword in his hand. Thousands of meters away, Haitian Demon King suddenly felt the danger. Under the light of Lin Moyu's sword, he felt death. Not good. Haitian Demon King retreated quickly as if he had seen the most terrifying thing. But it was too late. The sword light erupted, and he was chopped off with a scream. The wings were broken, and the legs were broken at the root. If it is in front of the strong soldier skill, it can still bear up to 1 point of damage from this sword. But under the 500% damage increase of the strong soldier skill, this sword almost killed it. Haitian Demon King's reaction was fast. When the sword light first rose, it had already burned the whole body with magic fire. A black magic stone was activated, and he fled instantly with it. The other Demon King and 2 Dragon Kings reacted a bit slower and were severely injured on the spot. They also wanted to escape, but because it took less than half a second, there was no chance. The eyes of the dead stared at Lin Moyu's will, and his soul shook. There were screams in the mouth, the head went blank, the elemental riot came, and the corpse burst at the same time. The material that exploded the corpse was the pair of thighs that had just been broken off by Haitian Demon King. Amidst the roar, Lin Moyu once again gained a lot of experience, 3 general stars. This guy, it's so fast. Lin Moyu said softly, in his eyes, Haitian Demon King is the real destiny. So many failed to kill it. The effect of the strong soldier skill is so good. Beating an intermediate Demon King is like slaughtering a dog. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the effect of the skill, turned around and rushed into the Dragon and Demon Coalition army, and started the massacre again. As he expected, the combination of the 2 major skills has a more obvious effect on improving the soul level. He could feel that after the death of the enemy, a trace of soul power would be pulled over and become the power to elevate his soul level. The transformation process is very mysterious, and seems to be related to some kind of mysterious law. With his current ability, he still can't understand it, but this is not important, as long as it can be used, there is no need to understand it. The seemingly mighty dragon demon army is like a chicken and a dog in front of Lin Moyu's undead army. Especially with the blessing of strong soldier skills, the combat power of the undead army has reached its limit, pushing all the way. After the battle lasted only 10 minutes, the Dragon Demon Alliance army was completely defeated. The undead army chased and killed them all the way, but Lin Moyu didn't do anything again. This battle gained a lot, not only rose to level 77, but also got 4 general stars. After level 77, The experience has increased by more than half, and about 30% can reach level 78. This pace of escalation has never been seen before. But for Lin Moyu, the biggest gain is the improvement of the soul level. Now the soul has reached the peak of level 92, only one step away from level 93. As long as he goes one step further, he can reach the middle god level. It would be great if there were 2 more such battles. It's a pity that the Dragon Demon Coalition army in this direction was defeated, and it is impossible to come back. Lin Moyu asked Meng Anwen, "Teacher, do you need me to guard where?" Meng Anwen laughed dumbfounded, "Haven't you killed enough?" Lin Moyu said, "Killing demons is the responsibility of professionals, and now there is one more dragon clan." Meng Anwen said, "Let me see." He once again communicated with the Eternal Wall. After a while, a strange look appeared on his face. Lin Moyu asked, "What's wrong?" "It's strange, the abyssal demon has retreated." Meng Anwen's words were slightly puzzled. Lin Moyu was also surprised when he heard about it. The Dragon Demon Coalition army came over aggressively. Why did they retreat all of a sudden? Did something happen to them? Lin Moyu asked. Meng Anwen said, "It's not that the allied forces of dragons and demons have retreated, it's the demons that have retreated. This is even more strange. Could it be that they are fighting among themselves?" Lin Moyu was even more puzzled, unable to figure it out. Meng Anwen said, "Don't think about it if you don't understand it, it's a good thing for them to retreat. This is the reason, once the demons retreat, only the dragons will be left. The pressure on the human race will be much less, and the casualties will be reduced a lot. Anyway, tilde operator is indeed a good thing." Lin Moyu asked, "The demons retreated, what about the dragons? How did they react, Meng Anwen said, "They stopped attacking for the time being, but I think they will also retreat. The dragon clan should be aware that if we face the human clan alone, the end result is very likely to be a lose-lose for both sides." Lin Moyu said, "The result of both sides' losses is that the demons of the abyss are cheap, and the snipe and the clam compete for the fisherman's benefit. That's it, so there is a high probability that the dragon clan will also withdraw their troops." Meng Anwen's judgment is very reasonable, and Lin Moyu thinks so too. Although there is no accident, there is a high probability that this will continue. This is also the best result so far. Although the human race suffered huge damage, the Dragon and Demon Coalition forces were not lightly damaged. There is no winner in this sudden battle. Meng Anwen continued, "I think the devil's sudden withdrawal of troops should have something to do with you. They failed to ambush you and me, so there is no point in continuing this war." Lin Moyu knew that he was the person the Dragon Emperor wanted to kill the most. The main purpose of this ambush was to target himself, followed by Meng Anwen and others. If he, Meng Anwen and the others were all killed, the Dragon and Devil Coalition forces would drive straight in, which would pose a very great threat to the human race. Not to mention destroying the human race. It is very likely that the human race will be devastated. But in the end, they all failed, and none of them succeeded. This battle is meaningless. Meng Anwen connected to the formation of the Eternal Great Wall, and could see the screen in Yuan battlefield. At this time, the demon army retreated like a tide, and the dragon army also stopped attacking. The human army also retreating to the fortress, and did not pursue. As if the battle was about to end like this, Meng Anwen suddenly saw a flash of sword light flying towards him. Meng Anwen gasped slightly, "Why is he here?" Lin Moyu rolled his eyes, "Is the god of righteousness coming?" Meng Anwen nodded, "It seems he has recovered." Meng An was not surprised that Lin Moyu could guess Jiang Yi. Given Meng Anwen's height, there are not many things that can surprise him, and there are also very few people who can surprise him. Jiang Yi was one of them. Jiang Yi was a character more than 600 years ago. He was very powerful. Before his fall, he had already reached level 98, and he had already reached the half-step super god level. But the time is too long, and Meng Anwen will lack a little respect for it accordingly. As for Lin Moyu, there is respect, not awe. In their hearts, Di Huang's sense of existence is far stronger than Jiang Yi's, who are also half-step super-gods. This subtle psychological change can only be understood by the parties themselves. Lin Moyu was puzzled. What is he doing here now? Meng Anwen also expressed his puzzlement, why Jiang Yi didn't appear sooner or later, but why he appeared now. Did you just know the news now, or did you just recover now? The opening of the Eternal Great Wall was so loud, it was impossible for Jiang Yi not to know about it. He could sense the Demon Emperor's shot from the air last time, let alone this time. Meng Anwen speculated, maybe he just recovered. In Meng Anwen's sight, Jiang Yi came from afar with a sword, and one person and one sword charged into the dragon army. It is as high as level 98, and has already stepped into the threshold of a half-step super-god, Jiangdu's. While the law was being swayed, countless dragon warriors fell, and so did the 2 dragon kings in the army, who couldn't even survive for 3 to 5 seconds. Jiang Yi entered the land of no one, with his sword shining freely, killing all directions. The dragon army was killed by Jiang Yi alone, and they fled in all directions. The demons withdrew their troops one step earlier, they were already far away, and did not meet Jiang Yi. After defeating the dragon clan army, Jiang Yi wrapped his sword light in his arms, and once again went to the depths of the Yuan battlefield, disappeared in the darkness. It can be expected that the dragons and demons in the depths of the Yuan battlefield, no matter who is encountered by Jiang Yi, will end up extremely miserable. Meng Anwen sighed, he seems to be venting. Previously, Jiang Yi killed very fiercely, fast and ruthlessly, pouring out laws wantonly, with deep hatred and strong hostility. Meng Anwen could feel this emotion from his sword light. Just imagine that he was almost killed, and he was reborn after being alone for hundreds of years, how could he not have hatred? Total understanding. But Lin Moyu frowned after hearing this. Teacher, you said he was venting? Meng Anwen nodded, his sword light and law carry hatred, deep hatred, and all enemies who died under his sword were chopped into pieces. Meng Anwen's words made Lin Moyu even more puzzled. Meng Anwen thought for a while, and then added, looking at it now, it's really a bit strange. Some people have been killed, but it still puts 2 swords on the corpses, to destroy households. Lin Moyu said, I don't feel right. I have been in contact with Ishan in the secret realm. He gave me a very gentle feeling, like an old man who has seen everything through. There is no hostility, no hatred, only open-mindedness. Meng Anwen pondered for a few seconds before slowly opening his mouth. Tell me, could it be his hatred for demons that exploded after his resurrection? Or his hatred for the human race? Lin Moyu shook his head, it shouldn't be like this. Even if he hated demons, it wouldn't go to this point. What's more, what he killed just now was not demons, but dragons. What Lin Moyu said is very reasonable, the higher the soul level, the more stable the emotions will be. Even if there is hatred, it is generally not so far. Even though the Dragon King hated Lin Moyu, he still kept calm. Moreover, in the era where Jiang Yi lived, the communication between the Dragon Clan and the Human Clan was limited to the Igu battlefield. At that time, the biggest enemy of the human race was still the devil, and Jiang Yi almost fell because of the devil. If you want to hate, you also hate the devil. The demon just retreated. If Jiang Yi wanted to catch up, he could catch up. But the result is not the case. Jiang Yi gave people the feeling that he would kill the enemy directly when he saw it, no matter who the enemy was. Reason seems a little weak. Both Meng Anwen and Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out. Lin Moyu thought about it and took out the dragon scale of Antares. It is related to the half-step super god of the human race. After Di Huang left, Jiang Yi was the strongest among the human race, and his affairs had to be taken seriously. Lin Moyu had the cheek to bother Antares again. Fortunately, Antares didn't sleep this time, but he couldn't avoid being ridiculed a few times. Lin Moyu's face has reached a certain level, especially when facing Antares, he is comparable to a super god. Soon, he got some answers from Antares. Meng Anwen looked at Lin Moyu, what does your lord say? Lin Moyu put away the dragon scales. It said that something went wrong with Jiang Yi during his resurrection, and the specific problem should be with the demon-slaying sword in Jiang Yi's hand. Meng Anwen searched his memory, and said in a deep voice, the demon-slaying sword was very famous back then. According to records, the human race paid a lot of money to build the demon-slayer sword. Furthermore, the devil-killing sword was also the trigger for the Great War that year. Jiang Yi's fall has something to do with the devil-killing sword. Maybe there will be detailed information in the royal family, let's check it out. The abyssal demons suddenly withdrew their troops, and the dragon clan suddenly fell into a passive position. Although the human race did not counterattack and hunt down, the dragon race was also weak in attack, so they had no choice but to retreat first. And Jiang Yi's joining made the situation even worse, giving the dragon clan a head-on blow. Outside the palace of the Abyss Demon Emperor, the Dragon Emperor approached, roaring towards the palace with anger. Demon Emperor, what do you mean, why did you retreat? Dragon Emperor's voice was full of anger, shaking the flames of the abyss to tremble continuously. The Demon Emperor didn't show up, his voice came from the palace, our plan has failed, what can we do if we don't retreat? The Dragon Emperor said angrily, even if we fail to ambush Lin Moyu, as long as we join forces, we can at least drive the human race out of the Yuan battlefield. Are you out of your mind? Don't you know that Jiang Yi is back? The Demon Emperor sneered disdainfully. The Dragon Emperor was slightly taken aback, and finally thought of Jiang Yi in his memory. It rose more than 700 years ago and was once the leader of the human race. 237. It was besieged by dozens of demon kings more than 600 years ago and finally fell. At that time, the Dragon Clan was isolated from the Yuan battlefield, and the Dragon Emperor had only heard of the name Jiang Yi, so he didn't know the details. Jiang Yi, isn't he already dead? Dragon Emperor said. The Demon Emperor replied, dead, not completely dead. After more than 600 years of death, he was resurrected. This is impossible. The Dragon Emperor exclaimed, even it has never heard of anyone who has been dead for more than 600 years and can be resurrected. The Demon Emperor said, although I don't know how Jiang Yi was resurrected, it must be related to it. If you want to know, you can ask. Anyway, it's there. It's not difficult for me. 1 inch. It. The Dragon Emperor shuddered violently. What a joke, ask Antares how many lives he has. If he stays obediently in the dragon realm, Antares will not be idle and kill himself, after all, several parties have agreed, but if he couldn't think about it and went to the upper space and went in front of it, he would probably be sprayed to death by a breath of dragon. The Demon Emperor continued, no matter what the reason is, Jiang Yi has been resurrected now. He is the peak of level 98, a half-step super god. Although he is a little weaker than you and me, the difference is not too much. With him around, there is no point in attacking the human race. Indeed, as the Demon Emperor said, with a half-step super god sitting in the human race, and the giant Buddha Antares exists, it is impossible for them to drive the human race out of the Yuan battlefield, let alone destroy the human race. What's more, there is Lin Moyu now, Lin Moyu is too weird. The Dragon Emperor also understands that the general situation is over, there is really no need to continue to attack, and retreating is the only option. It gritted its teeth, I thought that without Di Huang, the human race could drive them out of the Yuan battlefield, and suppress the human race once, completely maiming them. I didn't expect this to happen. After speaking, the Dragon Emperor left with anger and directly left the abyss. The flames of the abyss burned even more violently, and the Demon Emperor lay on the throne with extremely complicated eyes. Idiot, I don't even know my own identity, and I want to maim the human race. Do you understand that we are chess pieces? Since we are chess pieces, we should do our part. Act when you need to act, lie down when you need to lie down, surrender when you need to surrender, living is more important than anything else. I can't wait any longer, I have to find a way to survive. But the hatred with the human race is impossible to eliminate. What a headache. The fire of the abyss became more and more fierce until it surrounded the entire Demon Emperor's palace, and the real voice completely disappeared. In the palace, Meng Anwen directly explained his intention. Without any hesitation, Dongfeng Yi directly brought over all the information about Jiang Yi and Demon Slayer sword. The royal family can be regarded as the oldest family in the Xinxia Empire, and all the materials since the founding of the country have been preserved. Meng Anwen and Lin Moyu looked through the documents carefully, and found that the life stories of Yu Jiangyi were all recorded in detail. There is a lot of information that the outside world does not have, especially about the origin of the Demon Slayer sword. The Devil Slayer sword came from a piece of extraterrestrial metal, which was accidentally obtained by Jiang Yi. According to the information returned by the detection technique, this is a top-notch mythical material, named magic gold. In Jiang Yi's era, there was no god-level blacksmith, but mythical-grade materials can't be wasted just like that. So several top blacksmiths united, and they thought of a way. Gather the power of the Devil King's blood essence to smelt the devil gold. At that time, there were constant battles between the abyssal demons and the human race, and it was not difficult to obtain the blood essence of the Demon King. During several battles, Jiang Yi made a bold move and collected the blood essence of 5 Demon Kings. Using these essence and blood, the blacksmiths finally smelted the magic gold and forged it into the demon-slaying sword. It's a pity that it wasn't made by a god-level blacksmith, and the magic-killing sword that was finally made with mythical-level materials was nothing more than a top-notch legendary-level weapon. Of course, the demon-killing sword became Jiang Yi's weapon. Holding the Demon Slayer sword in his hand, Jiang Yi's combat power has greatly increased, and he can move across the battlefield. Until he was targeted by demons, and finally died of exhaustion in a great battle. It's just that no one knows that Jiang Yi didn't die completely, and after more than 600 years, he was resurrected with the mighty power of Antares through Lin Moyu's hand. But after the resurrection, it seemed that something went wrong, and the problem was the Demon Slayer sword. Lin Moyu knew that what Antares said was definitely not wrong. There is no specific information about that piece of magic gold in the data. Lin Moyu said softly. The information only says that this piece of mythical material is called magic gold from Wei Wei. But I don't know the specific properties of the magic gold. Meng Anwen said, is it possible for adults to know? Lin Moyu shook his head, it doesn't know. It's just mythical materials, and it's nothing to Antares. Lin Moyu thought for a while. According to the records in the data, one of the 5 top blacksmiths who participated in the production of the demon-slaying sword was Dongfeng Jin, who was from the royal family. According to what Lin Moyu said, Dongfeng Yi also looked at the information, and immediately found the corresponding information. That's right, it is indeed from our royal family. Can you find all his information, as well as hand-wrapped diaries and so on? The royal family has always had the habit of preserving materials, large and small, useful and useless materials will be kept. This habit is very good, and you can find it when you need it. Such a small request, the Eastern Committee will naturally not refuse. Moreover, these materials are not precious materials, but they are very old, so it will take some time to find them. The most indispensable thing in the royal family is people, and the results can be achieved in just half an hour. All the information about Dongfeng Jin was brought over. Dongfeng Jin inherited the fine traditions of the royal family, and he actually recorded most of his works in his life. He is a top blacksmith of level 88. The biggest regret of being born on 5.9 is that he failed to become a god-level blacksmith. And the greatest achievement in this life is to forge the Demon Slayer sword. In his diary, Lin Moyu found information about magic gold. Teacher, watch this passage. Lin Moyu handed the information to Meng Anwen. After seeing it, Meng Anwen's face changed slightly. It will be like this. Dongfeng Yi saw something was wrong. Anshan, General Lin, what's the problem? Meng Anwen glanced over. Dongfeng Yi understood, and immediately asked all irrelevant people to retreat. Meng Anwen pointed a finger, and laid down a simple soundproof formation. Meng Anwen said, according to the records, the main material of the devil-slaying sword, the mythical material magic gold, has the ability to bewitch the mind and make people become manic and even bloodthirsty. There used to be a low-level professional who was influenced by magic gold and became holy. Even top professionals need to be careful. Lin Moyu, Meng Anwen, and Dong Feng analyzed the data one by one, and finally got the answer. Extraterrestrial objects, mythical materials, and magic gold are not very good things. Bewitching wisdom, making people violent and bloodthirsty. The Devil Slayer sword is made of magic gold, and on the premise of bringing great power, it also brings a strong negative effect. Meng Anwen said, combined with the previous situation, it can be defined that the gods were indeed influenced by the magic gold. Lin Moyu said, according to the records on the Han Tai, Dongfang Jin's predecessors can resist the magic gold, so Ishan must also be able to. But God of Righteousness has been affected now, and there should be a problem in the process of resurrection. If it's just an influence, then it's okay. I believe that Ishan's soul level can definitely make things right. What I'm afraid of is... Meng Anwen said in a deep voice, what I'm afraid of is that the God of Righteousness is no longer the God of Righteousness. Lin Moyu nodded silently with a serious expression. What I'm afraid of is that the God of Righteousness has been affected at a deeper level, and he is no longer even himself. Lin Moyu didn't say it clearly, but he understood everything. Meng Anwen said, anyway, just be careful. I'll tell Lao Bai and the others to be careful. 02, Lin Moyu nodded, I really don't know if the righteous God's return is a blessing or a curse. I hope we're worrying too much. The God of Righteousness has returned, and it is impossible to stop it. After all, he is the only half-step super god in the human race. With him, the human race will have confidence. Lin Moyu and Meng Anwen left the palace and went to the Yuan battlefield. Lin Moyu stood in the air, looking at the eternal Great Wall. This is the result of hundreds of years of hard work by more than 10 generations of sages of the human race. As early as the Ishan period, the eternal Great Wall was already under construction. It wasn't really built until 100 years after the God of Righteousness fell. The eternal Great Wall is still running, and the 9 fortresses are connected into one body to form a barrier to stop the demons. Because of the existence of the eternal Great Wall, the human race has been relatively safe for hundreds of years. Demons can only come through some special methods and carry out some massacres. But it is impossible to attack on a large scale. Such a big war has not happened for hundreds of years. Half a day later, the news from the front line came back. The demon dragons have all retreated, and the Yuan battlefield has completely returned to calm. The eternal Great Wall slowly stopped running amidst the roar, and the formations in the empire began to stop. When the war is over, it is the casualty statistics. This will be a sad process. The war in just a few days has caused many people to fall. They are heroes, they are martyrs, and each one will be recorded. As for the soldiers and professionals who died in battle, the Xinxia Empire never treats anyone badly. Their families will receive the best care and nothing will be missing. Lin Moyu stood in the void outside Fort Number 9, looking at the soldiers packing up the battlefield outside the fort, and sighed softly in his heart. War. For most people, too cruel. Lin Moyu clenched his fists. This is the world of the human race, whether it's the abyss or the dragon race, you shouldn't come here. When he was studying, Lin Moyu had his own ideas. As long as he was strong enough, he would surely enter the abyss and destroy the demon clan. Now, we need to add another dragon family. The sword light flew from far to near. In the blink of an eye, Jian Guang had already stopped above the fortress. Jiang Yi stepped on the demon-slaying sword. He flew from outside the fortress, and he didn't see the soldiers cleaning the battlefield outside the fort the whole time. He flew not far from Lin Moyu, without even looking at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu thumped in his heart, realizing that something was wrong with Jiang Yi, which seemed to exceed his own estimation. It's not just as simple as being affected. Otherwise, how could he not know himself? You must know that he has been alone in the secret realm for hundreds of years, and the only person who has communicated with him is himself. If you don't even know yourself, that's a big problem. Just as Jiang Yi was about to enter the fort, the formation of the fort suddenly flickered and blocked him. Although he is a human race, he is not recognized by the fortress. Lin Moyu watched Jiang Jiao being blocked, and didn't make a sound. Jiang Yi didn't force his way, and said, "I'm Jiang Yi, open the formation." Jiang Yi's voice was transmitted through the formation. This sound made Lin Moyu feel weird again. Jiang Yi's voice was low and hoarse. The voice has changed. In Jiang Yi's secret realm, Lin Moyu once had a direct dialogue with Jiang Yi's soul. He was quiet. The voice he heard at that time was Jiang Yi's own voice. Even though Jiang Yi was only in the state of a soul at the beginning, when he transformed into a human form, he would inevitably retain his own voice. Now the voice has changed. Another point also caught Lin Moyu's attention: Jiang Yi doesn't smell blood at all. He went to hunt down the army of dragons and demons, and he only came back half a day, so he must have gone through a lot of fighting. With his strength, there must be many dragon demons who died under his hands. How could it be possible that there was no bloody smell at all? Not only is there no bloody smell, even the killing intent is completely restrained. This is normal in normal times, but just after the war ended, it became unusual. The soldiers who were still cleaning the battlefield outside the fortress smelled of blood and killing intent. And what did Jiang Yi come here? Why did he come to Fortress Number 9? Someone from the fort lifted into the air, and it was Wang Lin who came. Usually, things in Fortress Number 9 are handled by Wang Lin. Only when he couldn't handle it, Yi Hao would come forward. Jiang Yi? Wang Lin's tone was a bit weird, and he looked Jiang Yi up and down. Jiang Yi was also looking at him, level 92, low god level. A little disdain can be heard in the tone. Wang Lin couldn't see Jiang Yi's level, but he could feel the strength of the other party. Standing in front of him, I felt a strong sense of oppression. He knew that this was caused by the great difference in strength between the two sides. The opponent is so strong, also called Jiang Yi. Wang Lin suddenly thought of something. "Are you God of Righteousness?" Jiang Yi said, "It's me, open the formation, I want to go in." Wang Lin exclaimed, "You are really a god of righteousness? Didn't you fall more than 600 years ago?" Jiang Yi snorted coldly, "I'm not dead, I'm just sleeping, and now I'm resurrected. Open the formation, I want to go in." Lin Moyu listened to 870, and said silently, "This is the third time, and the tone is more urgent than the last time. What is he going to do?" Lin Moyu is already sure that Jiang Yi must have a purpose in coming here, but he doesn't know what the purpose is. Fortress Number 9 is the end point of the Eternal Great Wall formation, and it is also the strongest point. This is close to the entrance of the abyss, and every time there is any battle, this is also the most intense place. Other than that, the 5-story fortress is no different from the others. Lin Moyu thought of the demon extinguishing tower. If there is any difference, the demon extinguishing tower is the only difference. But then he denied it again. The demon extinguishing tower and Jiang Yi are not products of the same era. In Jiang Yi's era, there was no demon extinguishing tower. Then what is he for? Lin Moyu didn't make a sound at the side, he also wanted to see what Jiang Yi's purpose was. Wang Lin was still cautious, and did not directly activate the formation. Instead, a message was sent. Soon someone flew over from the fortress again. Yi Hao and others came, and Bai Yuan was among them. This time, Bai Yuan came to Number 9 fortress to support him. The battle had just ended, and he hadn't left yet. In fact, when Bai Yuan came, the war had already come to an end, and he didn't even come out of the country. Judging from his appearance, it seems that the relationship with Yi Hao has eased. Just now Lin Moyu brought news about Jiang Yi, but he only told Bai Yuan, not even Yi Hao. The moment Yi Hao saw Jiang Yi, his body trembled violently. "Are you the god of righteousness?" Jiang Yi frowned and looked at Yi Hao. "Who are you?" Yi Hao saluted Jiang Yi. "Young Yi Hao, I've seen the fork god." Jiang Yi looked at Yi Hao. "Your surname is Yi?" Yi Hao nodded. "Ancestor Yi Baran." Jiang Yi said, "I didn't expect you to be a descendant of Bo Ran." Yi Hao said, "Thanks to God of Righteousness for saving our ancestors. Our ancestors later established the Yi family in the mountain city, which has been passed down to this day." Jiang Yi didn't say any more about the Yi family, but spoke for the 4th time. "Open the formation." This time he seemed to try to keep calm, but Lin Moyu felt that Jiang Ai was more anxious than before. He paid attention to Jiang Yi from one side, and he found that Jiang Yi had no interest in Yi Baran in his eyes, and he was just perfunctory in his mouth. It can't be said that there is no interest, but there is a trace of disgust. Yi Hao was a little excited at this time, and didn't notice the strangeness of Ishan. Lin Moyu secretly sent a message to Bai Yuan, telling him to be careful and stay away. Yi Hao immediately ordered to open the formation to let Jiang Yi in. Naturally, Wang Lin would not disobey Yi Hao's order, and a passage was revealed in the formation for Jiang Yi to pass through. Jiang Yi entered the formation and did not stay, but flew towards the center of the fortress. It looks purposeful. Yi Hao followed Jiang Yi. Senior god of righteousness, your ancestor Bo Ran once left an ancestral precept, saying that you have not fallen, and you will most likely be resurrected in the future. Really? Jiang Yi smiled, with a strange look in his eyes. Yi Hao said, that's what the ancestors said. What else did he say? The ancestors said that you are unparalleled in talent and love. If you are resurrected, you will be the strongest in the human race. If anyone can surpass God, it must be you. Yi Hao's tone was a little excited. Obviously, Jiang Yi's return and the fulfillment of his ancestors' words had a great influence on him. Jiang Yi smiled, Bo Ran really understands me, what a pity. What a pity. Yi Hao didn't know it, but Wang Lin felt something was wrong. Wang Lin frowned, fixed his eyes on Jiang Yi, and clenched his fist unconsciously. Jiang Yi glanced over Wang Lin inadvertently, then shook his head with a hint of disdain. At this time, several people have come to the center of the fortress, an empty square. This place was originally the place where the demon extinguishing tower was placed. After the demon extinguishing tower was taken away by Lin Moyu, it became vacant here. Lin Moyu followed from a distance, he didn't know why Jiang Yi came here. Jiang Yi stopped and glanced across the square, it's pretty clean. Yi Hao said, originally there was a pagoda here, but now the pagoda is 11, careful. Before he finished speaking, Wang Lin suddenly shouted violently. Then the sword light flickered, Yi Hao was pushed away, screams sounded, and blood rushed to the sky. Wang Lin pushed Yi Hao away, and his arms were broken by the sword light. Before Yi Hao could react, the sword light lit up again. At the same time, a huge aura rushed from behind and collided with Jianguang. The violent impact shook Yi Hao far away, and Bai Yuan blocked the fatal blow for Yi Hao, but at the same time he was also sent flying. With a bang, blood rained all over the sky. Wang Lin was strangled to pieces by another sword light. Bai Yuan rescued Yi Hao, but failed to save Wang Lin. Wang Lin first pushed Yi Hao away and broke his hands. Then the second sword directly died. No one expected that Jiang Yi would suddenly violently attack his own people. If Lin Moyu hadn't told Bai Yuan to be careful, Bai Yuan would never have thought of it. Wang Lin. Yi Hao finally came to his senses and let out an exclamation. Bai Yuan stared at Jiang Yi and shouted angrily, Jiang Yi, what are you going to do? Bai Yuan has no friendship with Wang Lin. But Wang Lin is also a god-level powerhouse in the human race. He watched him being killed, and the person who did it was also a human race. Bend. The relationship between Yi Hao and Wang Lin is very deep. Wang Lin has always regarded Yi Hao as his elder. Yi Hao has no heirs in his life, so he also regards Wang Lin as his half-son. Seeing Wang Lin's death on the spot, his eyes were full of sorrow and tears, and he shouted at Jiang Yi, why? Jiang Yi's face was gloomy at this time, and he sneered, I didn't expect this guy to be so loyal that he was willing to die for you. Why? There is no reason, I just want the blood of the gods. Originally, you were quite suitable, so let's make do now. Jiang Yi was expressionless, and stretched out his hand, and a lot of blood flew out, falling down like raindrops. The blood is black and red, the black is the blood of the devil, and the red is the blood of the dragon. The blood exudes a powerful aura, without exception, all the blood of the demon king Dragon King. A large amount of god-level blood was collected, and no one knew what Jiang Yi was going to do. He shot so fast that even Lin Moyu couldn't react. No one could have imagined he will attack his own kind. If it wasn't for Wang Lin's quick reaction, it would be Yi Hao who died at this time. Jiang Yi, who is as high as level 98, has already entered the threshold of a half-step super god. Under the law of swaying, it is not difficult to kill Yi Hao. Yi Hao said coldly, "You are not a god of righteousness, who are you?" Jiang Yi spilled all the blood on the ground. He smiled, "I am Jiang Yi, the god of righteousness that your ancestors spoke of." Yi Hao roared, "Impossible, the god of righteousness mentioned by the ancestors will shed blood for the sake of the human race, and it is absolutely impossible to do anything to the human race." TSK, TSK, TSK. Jiang Yi laughed again and again, his whole temperament changed drastically, exuding a cold aura. "That's because you don't understand this deity too well. Not only do you not understand the deity, but your ancestors did not understand the deity either. Of course, this deity doesn't know you very well. Back then, if that coward Yi Baran hadn't escaped during the battle, the deity wouldn't have died in battle. Really think that this deity will fight to the death for the human race? There is no way for this deity. You don't understand at all." Jiang Yi's face became more ferocious, and he couldn't stop laughing wildly. Lin Moyu suddenly realized that he had missed something. According to the information, Jiang Yi obtained the heavenly demon gold by accident. But it didn't say when he got it. Magic gold has the characteristics of bewitching the mind, at least top professionals can resist it. If it is said that Jiang Yi obtained the magic gold before the third turn, does this mean that Jiang Yi has been abnormal since then? Jiang Yi gave people the impression that he was a half-step super god, and people subconsciously ignored the time when he obtained the magic gold. Wrong, totally wrong. This guy is acting. Since I entered the secret realm and touched me with my soul, he has been acting. At that time I was too weak to find any abnormalities. Antares must have known, but it didn't say. Combined with the few words Jiang Yi said now, Lin Moyu suddenly figured everything out. Jiang Yi has never been a god of righteousness who sacrificed himself for the righteousness of the nation. He has his own purpose. As for what the purpose is, it will be revealed soon. The blood spilled on the ground and was quickly absorbed by the ground. Then a bloody formation emerged. The space around Lin Moyu was distorted, and Meng Anwen brought the god Shata to appear beside Lin Moyu. Bai Hao Nua and Yan Quanxing also came over at the same time. Lin Moyu sent them a message just now, and they rushed back and forth immediately. Meng Anwen's face changed slightly when he saw the formation. "Is this a blood formation?" Lin Moyu asked, "What is a blood formation?" Meng Anwen said, "A very evil formation that absorbs the blood of the strong and transforms it into energy, which can quickly upgrade people." Lin Moyu knows that every gain must be lost. While upgrading rapidly, there must be a price to pay. Meng Anwen continued, "As long as you have enough blood from the strong, you can level up very quickly, and you can even upgrade 3 times in one night. But the sequelae are also very serious. Some people use the blood array, and they either go crazy or explode to death. Even if there are successful ones, they will be unable to make progress in life and their foundation will be broken. The blood formation appeared a long time ago, it was recorded, and then it disappeared. Why is there a blood formation here?" Jiang Yi suddenly turned his head to look at Meng Anwen. "You are a very good god-level formation mage, and you have reached level 96, so you didn't waste your energy to save you last time." As soon as the voice fell, the formation exploded, and blood rushed to the sky. The blood-colored light curtain shot up into the sky, broke through the original formation of Fortress Number 9, and shot straight into the sky, dyeing the dark sky of the Yuan battlefield in blood. For a while, the smell of blood was strong and disgusting. Meng Anwen's face suddenly changed. There is more than one formation. In his induction, with the activation of the blood array of the 9th fortress, the 8th and 7th fortresses, blood formations were activated in every fortress. Fortress number 9 is not the only blood formation, but the source of the blood formation. There are blood formations in each fortress, and he, a god-level formation mage, has not discovered it for so many years. It can only explain one thing: the level of the people who set up the formation is much higher than him. Standing in the blood formation, Jiang Yi licked his lips, showing a look of enjoyment. "How about it, aren't you shocked? Why you didn't discover the existence of the blood array can only show that your level is too low. But it's too early to be surprised. There are even more shocking things. Jiang Yi stomped his feet violently, there was a roar, and the sky and the earth shook violently. Outside the fortress, beams of blood-colored light soared into the sky, and formations emerged from the ground of Yuan battlefield. Blood array. There are blood formations everywhere. As far as the eye could see, the entire Yuan battlefield was dyed bloody. Meng Anwen's face was very ugly. He communicated with the formation in the fortress and saw everything most clearly. There are blood formations inside and outside the fortress, and a large number of blood formations cover a large area. Countless blood formations are connected together, and the formations contain unimaginably powerful energy. 820 These energies are the accumulation of Yuan battlefield. Countless strong men and monsters died here, and part of their blood was silently swallowed and accumulated by the blood array, and it did not erupt until this moment. Jiang Yi laughed even more crazily and scrupulously, see it, see it. There are 999 blood arrays, and after so many years, you can't find them. Too weak, really too weak. You humans are really incompetent. Meng Anwen said coldly, Jiang Yi, what are you going to do? Jiang Yi didn't answer Meng Anwen, but said to himself, this deity should have become a super god 600 years ago, and it's all because of the idiots in the abyss, and a few cowardly humans. This deity was besieged back then. If they hadn't escaped without authorization, this deity would have collected enough blood long ago. It's all your fault, it's all your fault. Fortunately, this deity is immortal, and he left behind, so that the king can return today. After today, this deity will be super god and become the leader of this human race. Meng Anwen said in a deep voice, you may not be able to succeed if you use the power of the blood array to advance. Short-sighted, you know nothing. Jiang Yi shouted, you don't understand the blood formation at all. The blood formation is not for you. This deity is its creator, and only this deity can control the blood formation. Meng Anwen was surprised again. Another message was revealed in Jiang Yi's words. Meng Anwen continued, the blood array first appeared 800 years ago, before Jiang Yi was born. Who are you? Jiang Yi laughed and said, who is the deity? When you merge with the deity and become the clone of the deity will naturally tell you. A level 96 formation mage, although not very good, is enough. When you become the avatar of the deity will naturally have a way to help you reach the super god level. Lin Moyu felt something was wrong. Jiang Yi said a little too much, and whispered, teacher, he is delaying time. Meng Anwen also reacted and shouted, do it. Yan Guangxing and Bai Yuan attacked almost at the same time. Yan Guangxing swung his long knife, and a black murderous airbag swept down. Bai Yiwu's pair of iron fists also fell from the sky. With Meng Anwen pointing his finger, Shen Shata waved his hands into formation, and tens of thousands of soldiers flew towards Jiang Yi. Jiang Yi dismissed the attacks of the three and didn't even bother to move. He stood in the center of the blood formation, shrouded in blood-colored beams of light, like defensive armor. The three people's attacks fell on the bloody beam of light, like a mud cow entering the sea, without any effect. Jiang Yi said coldly, it's useless, with your little attack power, you can't even break through the blood formation, let alone deal with me. Just wait for me to reach the super god level obediently, and then clean up you one by one. At this time, Jiang Yi looked at Lin Moyu, beside Meng Anwen, I remember, little guy, it seems that you helped me bring the Dragon Ball to Antares. Thank you, without you, I think it would take a long time to be resurrected. Antares is indeed powerful, but it's a pity that it only does business and doesn't care about the affairs here, you can only ask for luck. The three of Meng Anwen attacked repeatedly, but it had no effect at all. The blood array is like a tortoise's shell, it cannot be broken. Lin Moyu's eyes were full of thought, he analyzed every sentence Jiang Yi said, looking for the key points. The blood array first appeared 800 years ago, when there was no Jiang Yi. It shows that the blood array has nothing to do with Jiang Yi. And Jiang Yi in front of him said that he was the founder of the blood formation. Lin Moyu thought of Mo Jin, he always called himself the deity, this deity did not refer to Jiang Yi, but Mo Jin. Jiang Yi was not bewitched by the magic gold, but was taken away by the magic gold. Lin Moyu suddenly had this idea, and felt that his guess was correct. When Jiang Yi got the magic gold, he was no longer Jiang Yi, but the magic gold. It's even possible that the magic gold found Jiang Yi. How could there be so many windfalls in the world? The magic gold comes from outside the sky. This should be true. The detection technique can't deceive people, so it can't be hidden. There may be strong souls hiding in the magic gold and coming here. It is also possible that the magic gold is a strange race. And Terry said that there are all kinds of surprises in the outside world, and there is no need to be surprised by anything. Lin Moyu's thinking was suddenly opened, and he guessed all kinds of possibilities. Finally got the answer. The blood formation is evil and has strong sequelae, and this sequelae acts on the soul. But for Jiang Yi in front of him, the blood array is not harmful to him. In that era, there were constant wars, and it was indeed easier to collect the blood of the strong than it is now. It is precisely because of the need to collect the blood of the Demon King that Jiang Yi is at the forefront in every battle. He is not afraid of sacrifice at all, for the human race. He is purely for himself. And he was still in the Yuan battlefield, secretly planting blood arrays in the fortress. Just to soar into the sky and reach the super god. In the end, because of a failure, hundreds of years were wasted in vain. He said that he is immortal. Lin Moyu does not believe that there is really immortality in the world. Just like the formation in front of you, there is no formation that cannot be broken. It's just that I didn't find the right way. If the method is not easy to find, then directly use violence to destroy it. It's not that easy to be super god. At this time, the 999 blood arrays are connected into one body, like the opening of the Eternal Great Wall, and the defense power is astonishingly terrifying. Then disconnect them. Lin Moyu said, "Teacher, open the Eternal Great Wall." Meng Anwen's eyes lit up, and without hesitation, he directly controlled the formation to open the Great Wall. In recent decades, he has been responsible for maintaining the formation of the Eternal Great Wall, and Meng An has the strongest control over the Eternal Great Wall. The Eternal Great Wall that had just been closed opened again, and a powerful defensive barrier rose. But the formation was hindered, blocked by the bloody beam of light, and could not be fully opened. Meng Anwen went all out to control the formation, but it was still to no avail. Jiang Yi laughed loudly, "It's useless, you can't beat me at all with your dot matrix technique." The blood array continued to operate, and the blood accumulated for hundreds of years was transformed into majestic energy, which was poured into Jiang Yi continuously. Jiang Yi's aura is rising and getting stronger and stronger. Suddenly, a purple thunder light hit the blood-colored beam of light, exploding into a sea of purple thunder. The purple god-killing thunder, carrying the law of thunder and lightning, turned into a sea of thunder, cutting off the blood-colored beam of light like a sharp renminbi. The blood formation stagnated for a moment. Meng Anwen seized this momentary opportunity, broke out with all his strength, and the Eternal Great Wall completely unfolded and closed. The blood formations in the 9 fortresses were all cut off by the Eternal Great Wall. The blood formations on the foreign element battlefield in the fortress are still functioning, but their power can no longer be transmitted smoothly. The blood formation where Jiang Yi was located had become an isolated island. Jiang Yi was shocked, his eyes fell on Lin Moyu. "How is this possible? This is impossible." Then he saw the Gulei Y Tower in Lin Moyu's hand, and exclaimed, "Gulei Y Tower, how could you get the Gulei Y Tower? Even if you get the Gulei Outer Tower, it is impossible for you to manipulate it. You are only level 77. Impossible, absolutely impossible." Jiang Yi at this moment is somewhat similar to the Dragon Emperor. His eyes were full of disbelief, unbelievable. He can recognize the Gulei Tower, and he must also know the god-killing fortress. Lin Moyu can now be 100% sure that Jiang Yi was definitely not bewitched, but really taken away. The soul in Jiang Yi's body at this time is not Jiang Yi, but a creature from outside the world. The specific race, Lin Moyu, is not clear. But it doesn't matter, now he is an enemy, Lin Moyu just needs to find a way to kill him. To the enemy, Lin Moyu doesn't need to say half a word of nonsense, one more word is a waste of tongue. With a finger point, another purple god-killing thunder blasted out, and it exploded on the blood formation, causing the blood formation to shake. At this time, the blood formation Jiang Yi was in had been isolated, and the Eternal Great Wall had disconnected the blood formations, making it an isolated island. Jiang Yi didn't give up on the blood formation. He roared angrily, continuously increasing the power of the blood formation, trying to break through the restrictions of the Eternal Great Wall. He oozes blood all over his body, and instantly turns into a blood man, and the strength of the blood formation also strengthens accordingly. Meng Anwen also made every effort to strengthen the formation of the Eternal Great Wall, and the formations of the two sides continued to compete and collide. The collision of the formations caused violent energy fluctuations, the wind howled in the whole fortress, and energy turbulence was everywhere. A large number of professionals were hit by the energy turbulence and were immediately injured. Lin Moyu glanced at him. God will order everyone to leave the fortress. Teacher, take everyone away. Leave this place to me. Bai Yuan wanted to say something else, but Yan Guangxing pulled him. Stop talking nonsense, let's go. Meng Anwen was more resolute than Yan Guangxing. One after another law was swayed, and turned into one after another rune into the Eternal Great Wall. The Eternal Great Wall is not just a defensive formation, it also has various functions, large and small, and the teleportation function is one of them. Cooperating with Shinshata, Meng Anwen instantly exerted the teleportation function of the Eternal Great Wall to the limit. The Shinsha Tower suddenly became larger, and it seemed to stand upright in an instant. A large number of teleportation arrays appeared all over the fortress, connecting everyone in the fortress to the Shinsha Tower. Xiaoyu, be careful. Meng Anwen let out a low cry, and teleported away from the fort with Bai Yuan and the others. Almost instantly, the number 9 fortress was empty, leaving only Lin Moyu and Jiang Yi. Meng Anwen appeared outside the fortress, still maintaining the Eternal Great Wall with all his strength. The light curtain of the Eternal Great Wall firmly blocked the soaring blood column of the blood formation. This is not only true of fort number 9, but also in the other 8 forts. Meng Anwen gradually understood that the blood formation has 9 main formations, corresponding to the 990 formations on the Yuan battlefield. Once the 9 main formations are isolated, the 990 formations outside are like soldiers who have lost their command and don't know what to do at all. And the leader of the 9 main formations is the formation in fortress number 9. In other words, as long as this formation in fortress number 9 is controlled, the other 8 formations are nothing to fear. But just in case, Meng Anwen still issued a large number of orders to destroy the blood formation. Bai Yuan, Yan Guangxing, Yi Hao and many god-level powerhouses in the human race received orders from Meng Anwen. There are many god-level powerhouses who don't know what happened, and they are even full of doubts about the blood formations in the various fortresses. After receiving Meng Anwen's order, he acted directly without any hesitation. Bai Yuan was the first to rush to the blood formation outside fortress number 9. He couldn't deal with Jiang Yi, nor could he deal with the blood formation controlled by Jiang Yi before. But now that the blood formation outside the fortress is not in control, it is too easy to destroy it. The power of the law blasted and killed, and under the iron fist, the blood formation quickly collapsed. Meng Anwen sent Yan Guangxing to fort number 8. Yan Guangxing was first eradicating the blood formation inside the fort, and then dealing with the blood formation outside the fort. A large number of god-level powerhouses fought, and the blood formations were pulled out one by one. Jiang Yi's face became extremely ugly, and he could feel that the blood array was being destroyed. I'm going to kill you, none of you will live. Jiang Yi said like crazy. As soon as the blood formation was eliminated, his hope of being promoted to the super god level was cut off. Originally, he was supposed to be promoted to the super god level 600 years ago, but he waited 600 years for various reasons, and almost fell because of it. But now, it was obvious that he was promoted, but he was sabotaged again. There was killing intent in Jiang Yi's eyes. I will refine you into a blood corpse, imprison your soul, and prevent you from being reborn forever. Lin Moyu didn't say anything, and responded with purple Jushin Lei. Amidst the roar, the blood formation on the isolated island was crumbling. With a strong murderous intent, Jiang Yi rushed out of the Sea of Thunder with the Demon Slayer sword in his hand, and killed Lin Moyu in an instant. The clothes on his body were torn, and there were scorched marks all over his skin. It was obvious that Lei Hai had caused some damage to him, but it wasn't too great. Lin Moyu was still unafraid. The undead army appeared, followed by the Skeleton King. Soul Skill, Gather. Lin Moyu activates the power-gathering skill. The attribute is instantly raised to the extreme, and at the same time inherits all the skills of the summoned object. Skill, Absolute Defense. With Absolute Defense turned on, all damage is reduced by 99%, and the remaining 1% has to go through soul skills, weakening of damage transfer. Lin Moyu completed a series of operations in an instant, less than half a second before and after. Die! Jiang Yi roared ferociously, and the Demon Slayer sword pierced through the space with a piercing sound, and the pitch-black sword light almost swallowed Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu has no dodge, and it is impossible to dodge on the soul lock. The moment the sword light approached, a purple god-killing thunder shot out from the outer tower of the ancient thunder, and hit Jiang Yi impartially. Likewise, when Lin Moyu's soul is locked, Jiang Yi cannot escape. Exchange injury for injury. This way of playing, Lin Moyu will also. The sword light swallowed Lin Moyu, and the thunder light swallowed Jiang Yi. Except for the initial soft sound of Jian Guang, there was no sound. But Jushin Lei was earth-shattering, resounding through the 9-story fortress. The power of this lightning attack to kill God was much greater than before. A large number of houses in Fortress Number 9 collapsed and collapsed. Jiang Yi was blown away by the thunder, and his body was covered with scars. But he was even crazier. Exchange injuries with me. What are you, a level 77 trash? After the words fell, a sword light lit up on him. The Skeleton King made his move, and at the same time, the undead army densely attacked and fell on him in an instant. The sky suddenly turned black, and the red light of the blood array and the brilliant golden light of the eternal Great Wall were all covered by darkness. The projection of the undead world descends, the gate of the undead opens, and the eyes of the undead open with raging flames, staring at Jiang Yi. Jiang Yi let out a scream, soul attack. The red light flashed, and the curse fell. Then flames burst out all over his body, lightning rained down, and at the same time, greenery appeared on Jiang Yi's face. Poison attack. Jiang Yi exclaimed again. He couldn't believe Chuan. Elemental liches appeared one after another, with halos one after another, and all attacks from various halos fell on Jiang Yi. In an instant, Jiang Yi had to endure the lightning bombardment while turning into a burning man, and was also poisoned at the same time. Lightning fell densely, thousands of lightning bolts every second, non-stop. Although the power of lightning is not great, it still gives Jiang Yi a headache. The curse and the freezing also came at the same time. Jiang Yi was not only shocked, but crazy. Various elemental attacks, poisonous attacks, soul attacks, physical attacks. Jiang Yi really wants to ask, what else do you not know? Never seen such an opponent. Lin Moyu flew out of the sword light, with absolute defense and damage transfer. He didn't suffer any injuries. Jiang Yi's pupils shrank suddenly. How could this be possible? Even if Lin Moyu could block his attack, he wouldn't be completely injured. You are too weak. Lin Moyu said 173 in a deep voice. This statement is half exaggerated and half true. Jiang Yi is definitely not weak. He has already stepped into the threshold of super god. How could he be weak? But compared to the Dragon Emperor, it is indeed weaker. Weak you mother. Before Jiang Yi finished speaking, he was interrupted by intensive attacks. Jiang Yi roared angrily and rushed over against the attacks all over the sky, and swung the Demon Slayer sword in his hand again. The sword lights lit up, and the void around Lin Moyu's body was filled with sword lights, tens of thousands. Wan Jian, kill demons. Jiang Yi snorted coldly. He finally used his skills. The pair of star rings in Jiang Yi's hands exploded at the same time. As a swordsman, Jiang Yi has 9 pairs of 18 star rings, and each pair of star rings represents an extremely powerful skill. Normally, he doesn't need to use skills, just a normal attack is enough to destroy the enemy. But now, he has to use skills, otherwise deal with Lin Moyu. Thousands of sharp swords shot at Lin Moyu at the same time, as if they wanted to turn Lin Moyu into a hedgehog. Lin Moyu still didn't dodge, and his absolute defense skills were still there, so he wasn't afraid of this blow. Under the absolute defense, even the Dragon Emperor can hardly hurt him, let alone Jiang Yi. Thousands of sharp swords are pointed at Lin Moyu, and there is nowhere to hide. Jiang Yi grinned grimly, "I'm going to tear you apart." With Wang Jian approaching, Lin Moyu was not afraid at all. He pointed his finger at Jiang Yi, and the Goulet outer tower shot out god-killing thunder again. Zhu Xunlei came first, and exploded on Jiang Yi's body with a bang, blowing Guang away. Lin Moyu's body is like an invisible shield, swallowing all the swords, leaving nothing behind. With the addition of absolute defense and damage transfer, Lin Moyu was still unscathed under the effect of double rear damage reduction. In Lin Moyu's view, Jiang Yi is a half-step super god at level 98, much weaker than the Dragon Emperor. Moreover, the physical body of the human race is not as powerful as that of the dragon race. The effect of Zhu Xunlei is very good, and the damage caused is also considerable. This time, Jiang Yi was injured even more seriously, his hair was disheveled and he was in a panic. Seeing that Lin Moyu was fine, he yelled again, "How on earth did you do it? Why did you do this?" This scene seemed familiar, and it was the same with the Dragon Emperor not long ago. If you don't believe in anything, don't believe it at all. Lin Moyu will not explain. The power-gathering skill time is up, without soul replenishment, it can only last for 14 seconds. This is also because he rose to level 77, which is 2 seconds longer than when he was level 76. After becoming a soul skill, Cohesion can only last for 10 seconds at level 75, 12 seconds at level 76, and now 14 seconds at level 77. As the soul becomes stronger and stronger, it can last longer and longer. Of course, if there are a large number of enemies, if you keep killing enemies and harvesting souls, you can keep the power-gathering skills going. Jiang Yi suddenly felt Lin Moyu's aura change, as if he understood something. "I understand, so you used a special skill. Now your skill time is up, now you are dead." He raised his sword again, and he believed that he could kill Lin Moyu this time. Lin Moyu retreated strongly and quickly, with the undead army standing in front of him. "It's useless, just relying on this rubbish, it can't stop me at all." Jiang Yi laughed wildly, and the demon-killing sword drew out sword shadows all over the sky, and the sword energy danced across the fortress. The headless horsemen and skeletons were crushed by the sword energy like straws, and quickly reborn in the summoning space. Lin Moyu relied on the army of undead to block Jiang Yi, pointed out again, and the 5th god-killing thunder blasted out. Lin Moyu's face suddenly turned extremely pale as the 5th thunderbolt blasted out. The 5 split souls have reached the limit and cannot be split anymore. If it splits again, it will damage the soul, but Lin Moyu still didn't care about it, and continued to split the soul with the soul-splitting method. A Dao Zhu shot out from the outer tower of Goulet. Lin Moyu became more proficient as he used it more and more. The power of Zhu Xunlei is also gradually increasing. However, Lin Moyu's complexion was getting worse and worse, his face was pale, and it was extremely ugly. Constantly splitting the soul is not a small damage to the soul, but Lin Moyu knows that it doesn't matter. Jiang Yi was stopped by the undead army, and was constantly bombarded by Zhu Xunlei. The Xin Xunlei that can injure the Dragon Emperor can also injure him. There are too many undead legions, killing a group and there will be a large group. Jiang Yi was so angry that 2 pairs of star rings exploded on his wrist at the same time. Wall of Sword Chi. Sword Chi Swamp. A pair of star rings represents a skill. The Wall of Sword Energy is a defensive skill, which blocks the god-killing thunder. Sword Chi Swamp is a large-scale attack skill, which is perfect for dealing with the undead army. The sword aura filled the sky, and the subdivided swamp enveloped the entire fortress, and the undead army could not move an inch in the sword aura swamp. In just 2 seconds, the undead army was wiped out in the sword chi swamp. Even the group defense of the Headless Horseman couldn't hold it up. Only the Skeleton Lord persisted, relying on absolute defense. The Skeleton King came to Jiang Yi, swinging the Bone Giant sword. "Go away." Jiang Yi directly rewarded it with a sharp sword aura, with a touch of bright red in the sword aura, which is Jiang Yi's law. The Skeleton King was cut into the air in an instant, and his bones were broken. "No way, the difference in strength is too great. Your summons are dead, and it's your turn." Following Jiang Yi's voice, another pair of star rings exploded. 9 pairs of star rings, this is already the 4th pair of star rings. Slay the sky with one sword. A terrifying gigantic sword appeared in the air, and the sword fell, causing the world to turn pale. The world is like a curtain, and a huge wound has been drawn. The terrifying sword chi struck Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu did not summon the undead army this time, but placed them all in the summoning space. Lin Moyu endured the 5.6 sword chi forcefully, stepped back a few meters, and blasted out a god-killing thunder again. However, Jiang Yi's wall of sword energy was still there, and Zhu Shenlei did not cause him any harm. Under the sword energy, the undead army in the summoning space was wiped out for the 2nd time. Then came the 3rd time. Lin Moyu didn't care, the fire in his hand was beating, and in conjunction with the gaze of the undead, he launched a soul attack on Jiang Yi. The undead lich was always behind Lin Moyu and did not bear the attack. The aura of immortality is shining, waiting for the 4th death to come. Jiang Yi snorted, soul attack, even he would be affected. This kind of soul pain made him even crazier. But it was nothing. When he saw that Lin Moyu was still alive, not even injured, he completely lost his mind. "Why don't you die, why? Why?" Jiang Yi had never encountered such a thing. The 5th pair and the 6th pair of star rings exploded in succession. The 2 pairs of star rings exploded one after the other, and the sword light exploded, and 2 extremely powerful attack skills devoured Lin Moyu completely. This time, without Zhu Shenlei, all the attacks seemed to disappear. In the sword light, even the shadow of Lin Moyu disappeared. It seems that Lin Moyu has been wiped out. Jiang Yi laughed wildly, die now. No one can stop me, I will reopen the blood formation, and use your human race to help me become a super god. I will be the master of the world, truly immortal. The more he laughed, the crazier he became, and his voice shook the fortress. Outside the fortress, Meng Anwen's face was ugly. In his line of sight, there was no sign of Lin Moyu. It seems that Lin Moyu was really killed, and has been turned into ashes, with no bones left. He was not very confident, because Lin Moyu's performance was too calm, including facing such a powerful attack just now. Lin Moyu was extremely calm. Based on his understanding of Lin Moyu never fights uncertain battles. Just now, it must be because there is no need to dodge. And he knew that Lin Moyu's undead army was not so easy to kill. Later, Lin Moyu stopped calling, so he must have his own plan. Jiang Yi smiled for more than 10 seconds, and then looked at Meng Anwen outside the fortress, with a bloodthirsty light in his eyes. The next step is you, 02. You said just now that you want to become the master of the world, truly immortal? In this way, you are not truly immortal yet, you will still be killed, right? A voice suddenly sounded. Jiang Yi's whole body was tense, and he was sluggish on the spot. Turning his head suddenly, Lin Moyu appeared in front of him at some point in his sight, and the figure, appearance, and even the clothes on his body are no different from before. The only difference is that her complexion has returned to ruddy. Unique talent, comprehensive new life. This talent, which even Antares would call perverted, brought Lin Moyu back from the dead. All skill cooldowns are reset, and the soul is restored intact. Lin Moyu's overdrawn soul was also completely reborn. Lin Moyu knew that he had made the right bet. In this way, he could fully use his talents to use Zhu Shenlei almost unlimitedly. In fact, he had already completed his new life more than 10 seconds ago, and the full new life was completed almost instantly. He just hid and didn't come out immediately. The cooldown time for all freshmen is 1 minute. He was calculating the time, so he delayed it for a while. In less than 20 seconds, 1/3 of the cooldown of the newborn has passed. After knowing the characteristics of a comprehensive freshman, Lin Moyu clenched his fists. I can play a good game. Jiang Yi looked at Lin Moyu as if he had seen a ghost, and at the same time screamed strangely, "Why are you still alive?" Jiang Yi's appearance was extremely funny and weird, as if he had been greatly stimulated. Lin Moyu sneered, "You are not the only one who can live forever." "Impossible, impossible. Only our Soul Clan can live forever." Jiang Yi shouted angrily. Another pair of star rings exploded, and terrifying sword energy appeared in the air, falling like raindrops. Sword slaughters the world. The undead army appeared again, and the Skeleton King stood up from the throne. As if everything started all over again, Lin Moyu gathered his skills again, followed by absolute defense. The undead army was wiped out in the sword aura, and returned to the summoning space to be reborn. But it doesn't matter, Lin Moyu just wants to borrow the Skeleton King's absolute defense skills. This skill is enough to keep yourself safe for 14 seconds. In this way, 2/3 of the all-round freshman talent has passed. The remaining third, too, will have no problems. He let the sword energy blast on his body, and at the same time shot a series of god-killing thunders to land on Jiang Yi. It is still an injury-for-injury style of play. You don't need any skills, just be tough like this. After knowing the innate ability of the comprehensive newborn, Lin Moyu no longer has the last scruples, and can unscrupulously sway the god-killing thunder. When the soul dies, as long as it has been more than 1 minute since the last time the talent was activated, he can go to die. If he didn't summon the undead army before, he was actually begging for death, but he didn't say it, so no one would know. Lin Moyu unhurriedly shot out god-killing thunders one after another. Jiang Yi's wall of sword energy was getting weaker, and it was about to disappear. At the same time, Lin Moyu also caught Jiang Yi's words. He said that he was a soul clan. Lin Moyu doesn't know what kind of race the soul race is, but this race seems to have the ability of immortality. Lin Moyu didn't know if he could kill him, but he had to try anyway. This battle has been fought until now. Lin Moyu has completely controlled the rhythm. Lin Moyu knows that the chance of victory has been firmly grasped by himself. Lin Moyu gave Mang Anwen a look. Mang Anwen understood in seconds, and immediately took full control of the Eternal Great Wall. As long as Jiang Yi is not allowed to escape, Lin Moyu is 100% sure to kill him. Unless he also has a super god-level weapon like the Dragon Emperor. Jiang Yi's wall of sword energy was finally shattered, and Jiang Yi was blasted by Zhu Xunlei again, screaming, and his injuries became more and more serious. In his madness, he exploded with all his strength, and exploded the remaining 2 pairs of star rings in one breath. The last 2 pairs of star rings contain the strongest skills. This skill is usually not used, and it must be desperately used. Go to hell. With the final madness, Jiang Yi burst out with blood all over his body, and his whole body turned into a bloody long sword, stabbing Lin Moyu like lightning. Lin Moyu's face changed slightly. This sword was very powerful, and Jiang Yi was already desperately fighting. Even if he didn't do it himself, after using this sword, Jiang Yi would still be half disabled. He looks crazy, but there is calmness in his eyes. Behind this sword, there is a killer move. Lin Moyu caught information from Jiang Yi's eyes. Now there are still 20 seconds before the cooldown of the full freshman talent expires. Lin Moyu doesn't know how many times he will die with this sword. If it is too powerful and keeps attacking, I might die several times in a row. Once it exceeds 5 times, it is really dead. With a move in my heart, legions of undead descended one after another, blocking in front of me. This sword, it is not sure, does not want to block. A half-step super god at level 98 is really not easy to mess with. The Demon Slayer sword carried a terrifying force and charged 960 all the way. The huge sword energy erupted along with it, and the undead army would die if touched, and it was difficult to resist. Lin Moyu flew into the sky quickly, and thunderbolts hit the demon-killing sword one after another. The undead army can't stop it, and he still has Zhu Xunlei. If it doesn't work, he still has the ancient outer tower. He didn't believe that the Demon Slayer sword could possibly pierce through the outer tower of Goulet. You can't hide. Jiang Yi roared. His whole body exploded with a bang, his body collapsed, and all the blood in the sky melted into the sword. The speed of the Demon Slayer sword suddenly accelerated and became even fiercer. Jiang Yi abandoned his physical body and truly turned his body into a sword. Lin Moyu thought of something more than 600 years ago, when it was recorded that Jiang seemed to break out of the encirclement with this sword. Although he fell, his soul was attached to the Demon Slayer sword and escaped back. At that time, Lin Moyu wondered why the soul can exist without the body, which has never been heard of by other professionals. At that time, he was still weak, and he didn't understand many things. He thought it was because of Jiang Yi's half-step super-god relationship. Now it seems that this is not the case at all. Jiang Yi was able to keep his soul immortal, and survived by creating a secret realm with the help of the Formation Hall, because he himself is a soul clan. He wants to escape. Lin Moyu thought he was going to repeat his old tricks and ran away again. But suddenly his eyes lit up, and a finger-sized lightsaber suddenly flew out from the Demon Slayer sword, piercing his eyebrows as quickly as lightning. The speed is too fast, there is no way to avoid it. After the lightsaber entered between the eyebrows, Lin Moyu remained motionless for a moment, his eyes closed. The Demon Slayer sword also suddenly lost all its power and fell from the sky. In the soul world, Lin Moyu saw a strange-looking guy. This guy has a slender shape, and his entire body is constantly twisting. There are more than a dozen pairs of things that don't know whether they are hands or feet on the body. It looks like a myriad, which is a bit disgusting. Lin Moyu, unexpected, I have entered your soul world. Your strength is stronger than Jiang Yi's trash. I have decided that I will eat your soul. Your strength, your skill, all your stuff will be. Before the words fell, he suddenly couldn't speak. He swore he had never seen such a lively soul world. 2 godheads, 2 gods. A mythical scepter, a legendary scepter. Lin Moyu's soul is still normal, but what the hell is the 9-colored dragon outside the soul? And why there are 2 towers in the hands of the soul, one is legendary, and the other is the Goulet Tower. In addition, there are 5 skill star cores shining like stars in the sky. Jiang Yi panicked seeing the 5 skill star cores. In particular, there are 2 skill star cores that are very different. They spin too fast, as if they want to suck their own soul into them. Jiang Yi shivered suddenly, feeling as if he had made a wrong decision. Here, it seems that it is not the place where I should come. Lin Moyu's soul opened its eyes, and the voice resounded throughout the soul world, is this your body? In my own soul world, I am God. Now that Jiang Yi has come in, don't even think about leaving. The gate of the soul world has been closed abruptly, and Jiang Ai has no time to think about it. Jiang Yi trembled all over, his body swaying limply like noodles. Your soul, why is it so strong? Lin Moyu sneered, you think, I'm only level 77, and my soul should be about the same level, right? Isn't it? Jiang Yi whispered, this is common sense, as long as there is an existence above the god level, common sense should be known. But Lin Moyu is too contrary to common sense. A level 77 professional has a soul that is infinitely close to level 93. This is impossible. No, it could happen. Jiang Yi thought of a possibility, and blurted out, you are not from this world, you also came in from the outside world. Lin Moyu was taken aback for a moment, his eyes flickered slightly, and after 2 seconds of silence, he said in a deep voice, how do you know? Jiang Yi chuckled, sure enough, I'm right, so just tell me, what race are you from? Lin Moyu sneered, can you control me? You are just a loser of the Soul Clan, what right do you have to control me? Jiang Yi suddenly burst out laughing, I did fail, but I am a Soul Clan, you should know the consequences of killing me. Lin Moyu stared at Jiang Yi with a gloomy gaze. Jiang Yi showed a confident look, as if he was really not afraid of Lin Moyu. A few seconds later, Lin Moyu sighed softly, it's really not easy to kill you, but I can imprison you so that you can't leave for life. I will imprison you in the Jushan fortress, and be bombarded by Zhuxianlei every day, slowly torturing you. Don't worry, I will adjust my strength and promise not to let you die. As Lin Moyu said, he raised the outer tower of Gulei, and the purple lightning on the outer tower sizzled, which looked very scary. Lin Moyu's eyes are also bloodthirsty, very scary. Jiang Yi was really taken aback, and shouted suddenly, "You can't imprison me, I'd rather kill myself than." Lin Moyu said, "Then kill yourself." You. Jiang Yi was at a loss for words for a while. Ants are still living by stealth, let alone this strong soul clan. If he can survive, Jiang Yi will never think about dying. Lin Moyu thought for a while and said, "Actually, I can't let you go, but you have to promise me a few conditions." Hope rose in Jiang Yi's eyes. "What's the condition?" Lin Moyu said slowly, "First of all, don't make enemies with the human race anymore." Jiang Yi nodded immediately. "After I go out, I will go to the abyss, or to the dragon world, and promise not to appear in the human world again. Secondly, I know that you want to become the master of the world and never die from now on. In fact, I also want to, but some accidents happened when I sneaked in, which caused me to sleep for many years. There is also some memory loss after waking up." When Lin Moyu was speaking, he stared at Jiang Yi closely, capturing every trace of Jiang Yi's reaction. He was afraid that something he said wrong would arouse Jiang Yi's vigilance. But this kind of appearance fell into Jiang Yi's eyes, but he felt that Lin Moyu was wary of him. Jiang Yi said, "Every race has its own unique way, and our way won't work for you." Lin Moyu nodded. "What you said makes sense. Then tell me, if you reach the super god level, what will you do next, so that I can use it as a reference?" Jiang Yi said, "After becoming a super god, it is natural to find a way to obtain the world." Having said that, Jiang Yi suddenly stopped, and then he shouted sharply, "You lied to me. You are 5.1 people from this world. You lied to me, how dare you lie to me?" Lin Moyu didn't know where his flaws were exposed, but he remained calm on the surface. "You read it wrong. If I'm from this world, how could I have such a strong soul? I still remember that when I was in the outer world, my realm should be a true god." Jiang Yi suddenly laughed. "You're revealing again, it's impossible for a true god to come to this world, the rules don't allow it." Lin Moyu realized that he was wrong again. "I know too little about the outside world, and a lot of it is based on guesswork. It's normal to guess wrong. The play is almost over here." Lin Moyu asked in a deep voice, "How do you know I'm lying to you?" Jiang Yi laughed. "Stop acting? It's right if you don't act, you don't know the outside world at all. But I won't tell you where the truth is, unless you are willing to let me go, otherwise you don't want to know." Since his confrontation with Lin Moyu, he finally gained the upper hand and looked very excited. Lin Moyu watched him fall into madness again, and said lightly, "It must have exposed me." The soul body stretched out its hand, and lightly touched the 9-colored dragon soul crystal beside it. 9-colored dragon soul, the treasure of the West. Since Jiang Yi is from the outside world, he must be able to recognize it, and he must also know the reason why the dragon clan never gives away 9-colored dragon souls. Lin Moyu's ability to obtain the 9-colored dragon soul crystal is enough to explain the relationship between him and Antares. Qian Zhao. Those who can maintain a good relationship with Antares can never be outsiders. Lin Moyu still remembers that when Antares talked about Jiang Yi, his tone was a little strange. Antares obviously knew it, but didn't say it. And the most important point, just now Jiang Yi was staring at the 9-colored dragon soul crystal for a second. Although Jiang Yi only watched it for a second and concealed it very well, he was still caught by Lin Moyu. Moreover, even now when he is laughing wildly and yelling not to tell Lin Moyu, his eyes will drift to the 9-colored dragon soul crystal unconsciously. All kinds of situations and details all tell Lin Moyu's answer. Jiang Yi's laughter stopped abruptly, and he looked a little shocked. He obviously didn't say anything. Jiang Yi's performance now confirmed Lin Moyu's guess. Lin Moyu knew he couldn't ask any more questions. If that's the case, then you go to die. The Gulei pagoda glowed with purple light, and the purple god thunder fell on the upper limbs of Jiang Yi's soul. Jiang Yi's soul screamed earth-shatteringly. The soul was attacked, and the pain was many times more painful than ordinary injuries. Zushanlai turned into a sea of purple thunder, which exploded with astonishing lethality. The soul is both strong and weak. A powerful soul can be so strong that it can destroy the world. A weak soul can also be as fragile as a bubble of light and shadow. Jiang Yi's body was occupied by an unknown soul clan. Since it is called a soul clan, its soul is not weak. It's just that it has now entered the world belonging to Lin Moyu, and Zhu Shenlei can still play a role in the soul, which makes it appear fragile. 3 god-killing thunders in a row, the Sea of Thunder roared, completely devouring Jiang Yi's soul. Jiang Yi roared in pain in the Sea of Thunder, "You will regret it, my soul clan will not let you go, and I will make you into a puppet, seal your soul, and never reincarnate." Lin Moyu shook his head. "Let's talk about the future." There was a murderous look in his eyes, and he was ready to kill, and he would never let Jiang Yi go. Zhu Shenlei can not only destroy the body, but also destroy the soul. Jiang Yi's soul was hit hard and became weaker and weaker. Suddenly its soul burst out with dazzling red light, which broke through Lin Moyu's soul world and disappeared without a trace. Some of the remaining souls exploded, and the bloody soul energy swept in, turning the entire soul space into blood. It blew itself up, but it was quite decisive in the end. Lin Moyu didn't expect Jiang Yi to explode his soul. Facing the sweeping soul shock, Lin Moyu did not rush. 9-colored dragon soul crystal 363 spewed out a mouthful of dragon breath, protecting Lin Moyu. Then it sucked in a sharp breath, actually sucking in most of the soul attacks. Some of the remaining attacks fell on Lin Moyu's soul body, protected by dragon's breath, without any effect. After a few breaths, the 9-colored dragon soul crystal spewed out another dragon's breath, which was the soul attack that was sucked in just now. These soul energies were purified by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal and turned into extremely pure soul energies. These soul energies quickly merged into Lin Moyu's soul, and the soul immediately emitted a dazzling light. Upgraded. Lin Moyu's soul is shining, and so is his body. He jumped from level 77 to level 79. It was promoted to 2 levels at once, completely exceeding Lin Moyu's expectations. This upgrade speed is too fast and too cool. Jiang Yi's soul level is extremely high, perhaps because it is related to the soul clan, and the quality of the soul is also quite good. While Lin Moyu has obtained a lot of soul energy upgrades, the level of the soul has also been brought closer. Originally, it was half a step away from level 93, but now this half step has been completely crossed, and the soul level has truly reached level 93. Both the level and the soul level have been improved, and for Lin Moyu, the combat power has been greatly improved. This time I gained a lot, the only pity is that I couldn't get more words out. Knowing that Jiang Yi is a soul clan and an outsider. Will there be more outsiders lurking in every corner of the world, Acta? Maybe it took someone away, maybe it existed in other ways. There is no way to tell, which makes Lin Moyu a headache. Lin Moyu let out a long sigh of relief, and said to Meng Anwen, "Teacher, it's over." Meng Anwen asked, "Is Jiang Yi dead?" Lin Moyu nodded, "Well, dead, close the Eternal Great Wall bus." Meng Anwen nodded and put away the Eternal Great Wall. The blood formation is still in operation, but Bai Yuan and the others are destroying the blood formation. No one stopped them, and the 999 blood formations would be wiped out soon. Meng Anwen manipulated the God Shada, and beams of light fell on the blood formation of Fortress No. 9, destroying it. Fortress No. 9 has been completely broken down, only the city wall is still intact. That is because of the protection of the Eternal Great Wall. It will take a lot of time to rebuild the entire fortress. Meng Anwen looked at Lin Moyu and said in a low voice, "Is he not a god of justice?" Lin Moyu nodded, "Never." Meng Anwen pointed to the sky, "He came from outside?" Lin Moyu nodded again, "Yes, he calls himself a soul race, and his soul is a bug-like thing, which is a bit disgusting. But its soul is very strong, stronger than our human race at the same level. It should be a race known for its soul." Meng Anwen looked serious. "Is there anyone else besides it?" His worries are the same as Lin Moyu's. "Not sure, I tried to talk him out of it, but it didn't work." He blew his own soul in the end, and there was nothing left. Teacher, I'm going to find Antares, and I'll leave it to you here. Mang Anwen said, go, we will clean up here. When the blood array was activated this time, many professionals were implicated. Many people were injured, and some people were swallowed to death by the blood formation on the spot. There is still a lot of aftermath work to be done, and Mang Anwen and others also need to preside over the overall situation here to ensure safety. Lin Moyu activated Antares' dragon scales and teleported away. Why didn't you sleep this time? Lin Moyu looked at Antares with obvious anger in his eyes. Antares deliberately turned his head away from looking at Lin Moyu. Benlong can sleep if he wants to sleep, and don't if he doesn't want to sleep. I'm not sleepy now, I don't want to sleep. Lin Moyu flew to Antares, you are running away. Antares turned his head again and snorted, there is nothing for this dragon to escape, don't you have anything to say to me? Lin Moyu still didn't let go of Antares, flying to its eyes again. No. Antares simply closed his eyes, trying to keep out of sight. But this makes it even more guilty. Lin Moyu didn't point it out, since that's the case, let me ask and you answer. Antares said, Benlong only answers when he wants to answer, and when he doesn't want to answer, don't try to follow Benlong's words. Lin Moyu didn't care, did you already know that Jiangyi has a problem? I know. Antares admitted in a bachelor's way. Lin Moyu asked, why didn't you tell me? You didn't ask, besides, did Benlong know you well at that time? Antares took it for granted. Lin Moyu said, is it because I don't ask, you just keep talking? You don't ask me what to say, Benlong is not like you, who loves to talk nonsense so much. Lin Moyu quickly asked, did you just think about how to answer my question, and what I will ask after thinking about it? Of course. Antares immediately realized something was wrong as soon as the words came out, no. I see. Lin Moyu interrupted Antares. Antares was depressed, and stared at Lin Moyu with his eyes open, can you have a good chat, it's very rude to interrupt others. Lin Moyu said, is it polite for you to treat a good friend like this? What should you do if something bad happens? Isn't it just a matter of the Soul clan, what's there to say, isn't it killed by you now? Antares yelled, and it's not that I didn't do anything, the circle just helped you stop its remnant soul. It is to be escaped by his remnant soul, do you know how much sequelae will be left behind? Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback, remnant soul? He was slightly surprised, he didn't expect Jiangyi to keep such a trick. Clearly, he blew himself up, but secretly let his remnant soul escape. He is a Soul clan, so he obviously knows far more about souls than himself, so he must have a way to recover the remnant souls. Obviously Antares helped himself again. Antares looked at Lin Moyu, knowing that he had understood. Hu Ho snorted arrogantly, turned his head and ignored Hong Hongzhu. Lin Moyu eased his tone, can you tell me about the soul race? Apology. Antares spit out 2 words slowly, but did not refuse Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu took a deep breath, sorry, I was really in a hurry just now. Lin Moyu was really angry just now, in case Jiang Yi's sword was not aimed at Yi Hao, but at Bai Yuan. Bai Yuan may not be able to retreat completely. If something happens, Lin Moyu will regret it. That's why I was a little angry with Antares. But now that I think about it, it's actually not about Antares. I'm sure I'm fine, and I wasn't familiar with it at the time. Antares still ignored Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu flew in front of Antares' eyes, less than half a meter away, and bowed sincerely, I'm sorry, Lord Antares, I was wrong this time. You have a big belly, so you don't want to argue with me, right? Under Lin Moyu's hard work, Antares finally forgave Lin Moyu a lot. Then a fist-sized bubble appeared in front of Lin Moyu. Inside the bubble was Jiang Yi's remnant soul, who looked weak and unconscious. Antares breathed out the dragon's breath, tossing the bubbles at will, and as the bubbles rolled, the remnant souls inside also blew up. The remnant soul didn't wake up, but Lin Moyu could see the pain from its expression. Originally, the remnant soul was already very weak, and I don't know how long it would take to recover. After being tormented by Antares, it became even weaker. Lin Moyu looked at the bubbles and mourned for Jiang Yi for half a second. Jiang Yi's remnant soul would disappear in smoke anytime. He probably never imagined that he would fall into the hands of Antares. Antares said, "Did you see what's in remnant soul?" Lin Moyu nodded. In the center of the remnant soul, there seems to be a stone. This is not a stone, this is the soul core of the soul race. Antares spewed out a mouthful of dragon's breath, which melted into the bubbles and penetrated into Jiang Yi's swelling of the remnant soul. Jiang Yi's remnant soul showed pain and trembled in a coma. In the center of the remnant soul, a light spot lit up, very tiny, less than the size of a fingernail, and looked like a stone. Antares said, "The soul race is not a powerful race. Their weaknesses are too obvious. They don't have a physical body, so they need to take away the bodies of other races. So the appearance of the soul race is all kinds of strange. There are all races, and they have a bad reputation, and all races don't like them." Lin Moyu understood it as soon as he thought about it. Just ask, who can like a race that is always thinking about taking over himself? The Soul Clan is afraid that among all clans, they are street rats, everyone shouts and beats them. Antares continued, however, the soul race also has advantages. As long as their soul core is not fired, they can regenerate. The physical body can be discarded at any time. As long as their soul core is still there, they can change to another physical body after rebirth. At worst, they can practice again. In case they encounter a powerful body, the soul race can even become extremely powerful in a short period of time. Lin Moyu said, "Such a race, no one will destroy them?" According to Lin Moyu's understanding, this kind of race will definitely be missed by people, and even attacked by groups. Antares shook his head, "I want to destroy it, but I can't." Is there an invincible existence among the Soul Clan? Lin Moyu thought about it, and there was only one possibility. This is one of them. Antares breathed out the dragon's breath, and Jiang Yi's soul showed pain again, trembling constantly. Antares seemed to be addicted to playing, and regarded Jiang Yi's remnant soul as a toy. As for Jiang Yi's life and death, he didn't take it to heart at all. It said while playing, there are indeed a few strong people in the Soul Clan, but this is not the main reason. There are also many races stronger than the Soul Clan. The key is that the soul race is not easy to kill, and killing the soul race means destroying their soul cores. But after reaching the realm of true gods, the Wei family can split the second rain core. And in the future, as the realm improves, the third and fourth soul cores can be split. Sly Rabbit 3 Caves, these bastards will hide the split soul cores, God knows where they will be hidden. As long as a soul core is missed, they can be resurrected and regenerated. Lin Moyu said, "So, isn't it true that the Soul Clan can't be killed cleanly?" Antares shook his head, "That's not true, it's just that the original saint is very troublesome. For some truly incredible existences, it is not difficult to destroy the soul race, but in the eyes of that kind of existence, the soul race is not a fart. The soul race is just a small ant in their eyes. As long as this little ant doesn't crawl on them, they don't bother to do it. The soul race is also very smart, knowing which races can be messed with and which ones can't be messed with." Lin Moyu nodded secretly. To survive in a world full of powerful people, the soul race must have a way. However, from Antares' words, Lin Moyu could also hear that the outside world was also dominated by the jungle. The fist is the law of last word, very clearly visible. Lin Moyu continued to ask, "Jiang Yi once said that he wants to become the master of the world, and he also said that if he becomes a super god, he will be immortal." "Oh, so?" Antares questioned. "The so-called immortality of the soul race generally refers to the ability to split the second soul core, and then hide it in a place where no one can find it. But that can only be done at the real level. It seems that this guy still has a secret. Let me study it." Antares moved, and the mist that had been wrapping around his body continued to billow, sweeping across the sky and covering the sea, covering most of the core area in the blink of an eye. Even the streamer in the sky was obscured by the thick fog. Then Lin Moyu saw a huge dragon claw protruding from the thick fog. The dragon claws are so huge that they can cover hundreds of miles. The dragon claws are purple with black in them, exuding a heavy aura, extremely round. Compared to a bubble, the size of an adult's fist, it looks so insignificant. A trace of purple gold air flew out from the dragon claw and landed on the bubble. Soul search. A deafening sound resounded in the soul. Lin Moyu only felt a huge shock in his soul, and his whole body was tingling. Lin Moyu was shocked, Antares was not targeting him, but he still felt the threat from the depths of his soul. If Antares was targeting him, he would have no power to resist. The strength of Antares has reached a level beyond his comprehension. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal spat out a mouthful of dragon breath at this time to protect the soul, but still felt the tingling pain. It seemed that even the 9-colored dragon soul crystal had lost its effect. It's not that the 9-colored dragon soul crystal is poor, but that Antares is too strong, and Lin Moyu's soul level is indeed too low. Lin Moyu resisted the sting and carefully watched Antares' movements. The thunderous roar shook the soul, and the word surge went deep into the soul and could not be erased. Lin Moyu knew that Antares yelled at him on purpose. It doesn't need to bark at all, and barks to itself to let itself know what it is doing. Search soul, get information. In the bubble, Jiang Yi's soul was awakened by the soul search, and the soul was distorted and painful. Lin Moyu could hear Jiang Yi's soul voice. It was so miserable that it couldn't be described in words. It was first used as a toy by Antares, and now it is being searched. This product is really miserable. Throughout Jiang Yi's life, it is indeed possible to write a ridiculous history. Under Antares' search, Jiang Yi's soul gradually faded and disappeared. In the end, there was only one soul core left, and within a few seconds, the soul core also exploded. Jiang Yi was completely dead, his ashes disappeared, and he couldn't die anymore. With Jiang Yi's complete death, the core area also returned to normal. Antares opened his eyes, and a flash of light flashed. So that's the case, no wonder he said that super gods can be immortal, and a piece of the core of the world fell here. Why didn't I find out before? I really read it all over. It's a pity, this guy is really sad. Antares was talking to himself, and his eyes wandered to Lin Moyu, which meant to say, please, I will tell you. Lin Moyu looked at Antares' eyes, and 2 words popped out in his heart, you are a cheap scarf. One person and one dragon stared again. Finally, after holding on for half a minute, Antares couldn't help but retreat. Okay, for the sake of your thirsty eyes, I will tell you. Antares found a step for himself and jumped down. Lin Moyu chuckled, Miss Antares is really generous. Of course. Antares also followed Lin Moyu's words. According to this guy's memory, there is a core of the world in the deep space. After he becomes a super god, he can absorb the core of the world and split a second soul with the core of the world. The core of the world? Lin Moyu heard a new term and discovered a new continent. Judging by the name alone, it should be something extraordinary. Antares didn't play tricks this time and explained directly, the core of the world is the seed left behind after the death of a world. The world has big and small, strong and weak. Jiang Yi discovered the 237 piece, the core of the world is just the core of a small world, not powerful. However, even if it is the core of the small world, it is still a good thing, at least better than everything you have obtained now. Lin Moyu couldn't believe it, it's better than 9-colored dragon soul crystal? Cough. Antares coughed twice, that's incomparable, people make mistakes, dragons make mistakes, and they make mistakes. Anyway, you know it's a good thing. Lin Moyu chuckled, then what's the use? Antares said, the core of the world has many uses. It is a true god-level thing. It can be used to manufacture true god-level weapons, and it can also be used for cultivation and comprehension of laws. After all, it is the product of the destruction of a small world, and it condenses all the essence of the small world. But these uses are secondary to you. If you can get it, you have the opportunity to truly become the master of the world. Lin Moyu said, is that the world master who has destroyed the world? Antares shook his head, no, it is the master of your current world. Think about it, if you become the master of the world, all the people in the whole world will be your subordinates. You let them live and let them live. Die or die. Even if it is a super god level, it can't threaten you. At that time, even if you face a true god level, you will have a certain amount of self-protection power. Lin Moyu suddenly had a creepy feeling. A piece of the core of the world has such a big effect. His heart suddenly became hot, and he desperately wanted to get the master of this world. Antares poured another pot of cold water. However, it is not easy to get the core of the world, and it is also difficult to refine it. According to Jiang Yi's memory, there are many guys who are thinking about it. You have to be mentally prepared. Lin Moyu immediately became excited. The core of the world is in the deep space. What exactly is the deep space? Antares said mysteriously, deep space is a place full of danger, killing, and opportunity. Listening to Antares' words, Lin Moyu remembered that Bai Yuan had said similar things before. Bai Yuan once said that the ancient battlefield is full of opportunities, dangers, and rewards. In fact, he said that the biggest harvest comes from the deep space. As for the upper and lower levels, there will naturally be opportunities, and Lin Moyu has gained a lot. But it is far inferior to deep space. Lin Moyu said in a deep voice, can you be more specific? I can't tell you, but I can tell you that the deep space is very dangerous, and in some places, even super gods will fall. Antares spoke very seriously, not alarmist. Lin Moyu became more and more curious about the place where even super gods would fall. But the deep space clearly allows even god-level powerhouses to enter. If even super god-level powerhouses are about to perish, then the god-level powerhouses will not die very simply if they enter. Antares understood Lin Moyu's doubts. I know you have doubts, and you will know the specifics in due course, but I really can't tell you now. However, I can tell you that the deep space is connected to the wasteland. I really don't need to explain too much, just half a sentence like this is enough. Lin Moyu knows how strong the desolate beast is. Moreover, the desolate beast is only the vanguard, it is cannon fodder, and there is a more powerful black hand behind it. And there are Zerg. Once connected to the desolate land, the meaning is completely different. Lin Moyu thought a lot at once, and the deep space became mysterious. Antares chuckled, don't think about it if you don't understand it, what should I say about that place? It's troublesome anyway. Lin Moyu nodded and stopped thinking about it, I don't want to. When I reach level 90, I'll go there and see for myself. Some things, no matter how much you think about it, it is better to take a look yourself. Lin Moyu imagined that when he was level 90, his soul level would be at least level 96, which would be able to drive laws. At that time, you can use the purple god-killing thunder unscrupulously. With the attack power of the purple god-killing thunder half a step above the god level, at least let yourself have a certain amount of self-protection power. As he spoke, Lin Moyu sat down cross-legged, and slowly closed his eyes. The power of the soul, which was originally calm and waveless, boiled instantly, and the power of the soul spread wantonly, and the invisible power slapped the ground, making a roaring sound. After a few breaths, the power of the soul began to quickly converge, and finally returned to silence in the west of the body. Antares murmured, the brat's soul power has begun to transform into something tangible. The foundation is very solid, pure and flawless, not bad. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal is not given in vain, it seems that this dragon is still very powerful. Old man, look clearly, I can even give away 9-colored dragon soul crystals, how dare you say that my belly is not big enough? Memories flashed in Antares' eyes, and he seemed to think of some unpleasant memories, with occasional flashes of ferocity. Lin Moyu was already immersed in his own world at this time. After several levels in a row, there is enough soul power to carry the skill star core. Huge soul power rushed into the skill space, randomly selected one among more than a dozen similar skill star cores, and began to drag. This time the binding power of the skill space has increased again. The fewer skill star cores, the greater the binding force of the skill space. Lin Moyu has known this for a long time and is not surprised. Fortunately, my soul level and energy are both enhanced, and it is not difficult to carry the skill star core. The soul energy turned into countless filaments, surrounded a skill star core, and slowly dragged it out of the skill space. The whole process went smoothly. After only half a day in 5.1, the skill star core left the place where it was born and raised, and began to move towards the soul. Once leaving the skill space, the skill star core moved much faster, and was brought into the soul space not long after. The soul energy burst out instantly, pouring into the skill star core like a tsunami. After going through the first few times, Lin Moyu already has enough experience and knows how to improve the integration. There is no technique, just send all the soul energy in, send as much as you have. The more soul energy you give, the higher the final fusion degree will be. The skill star core began to sparkle, bursting out with astonishing light. The soul becomes weaker and begins to shrivel up. In a very short period of time, Lin Moyu sent soul energy into the skill star core in an almost brutal way. Antares suddenly heard Lin Moyu's voice, "Kill me," 4 times. Antares looked at Lin Moyu in bewilderment. "You're not crazy, are you?" "Not crazy, kill me 4 times. Lin Moyu continued to speak. Seeing that Antares still didn't make a move after 2 seconds, Lin Moyu urged again, "Can you be more straightforward? Is it public? Can you be more straightforward?" "Your sister." Antares was stimulated and let out a low cry, and a force descended from the sky on Lin Moyu. The undead army in the summoning space died collectively, and then quickly reborn in the summoning space. Antares is very measured in his actions, almost at the level of 98, not even half a step super god. It's 3 times short. Lin Moyu continued. Antares seemed to have guessed what Lin Moyu was going to do, and launched an attack every 2 seconds. Second time, third time, the 4th time. Stop. The purple light flashed past, and Lin Moyu called out at the same time to stop. The talent has been activated, fully reborn. The soul that had just been exhausted instantly returned to its peak state. At this time, the skill star core has not stopped, and is still in a fusion state. And it is still shining. The soul energy absorbed just now has not been reset due to the full-scale new talent. It works. Lin Moyu was overjoyed, his idea really worked. He found that he had found a new continent. As long as he can accurately calculate the time and master the rhythm, he can completely push the fusion of skills to 100%. Think about the previous skill star cores. What a waste. I can only blame myself for being too stupid for not thinking of this method earlier. Cursing himself, at the same time sending soul energy in. The skill star core is getting brighter and brighter, and the degree of fusion is also increasing. Lin Moyu controlled the soul energy output until the soul energy was exhausted again. 2 minutes had passed. Lin Moyu spoke again, 4 times. Antares already understood what Lin Moyu was going to do at this time. He smiled, "No problem." Another 4 attacks. The purple light flashed, and the comprehensive new talent was activated again. The soul energy is abundant again, and a lot of soul energy rushes into the skill star core as if it doesn't cost money. Instill soul energy for the 3rd time, until the skill star core is completely complete and no longer accept any soul energy. Its brightness has also reached its peak, and it has become like the sun. The skill star core is not only shining, but also extremely hot. Make the soul space that had no temperature become warm. Did I create a sun? His soul is speaking, and his mouth is unconsciously speaking. Antares was shocked when he heard it. "What did you say?" Lin Moyu said, "My skill star core seems to have become a sun." Now even Antares trembled. "You are such a madman." Lin Moyu didn't know what this meant, but Antares knew it. This means 100% fusion. 100% fusion of the skill star core is at least a level that can only be achieved by a half-step super god. Lin Moyu is only a few levels, level 79, and he has pushed his skill fusion to 100%. Even Antares had to lament that Lin Moyu's talent is too perverted. Having completely absorbed the soul energy, the extremely bright skill star core exploded. The entire soul space was shrouded in strong light, and even Lin Moyu, the master, couldn't see any pictures for a while. Nothing but light is light. Huge energy was fed back, and the soul level was instantly improved. Because Lin Moyu consumed all his soul energy twice in a row, and also passed the level for the third time, too much energy has accumulated in the skill star core. Feeding back at once, just raising a little soul level, can't consume it at all. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal suddenly regained energy. It opened its mouth and sucked up all the soul energy, and then spit it out again. After its purification and refining, the soul energy becomes more pure. These soul energies are scattered in the soul space, causing the soul space to expand rapidly. After a while, the glare disappeared, and Lin Moyu saw his soul world again. The soul world has become bigger, several times bigger than before. I don't know what is good about having a larger soul space, but there is certainly no harm. Originally, Lin Moyu's soul space was very lively, with a lot of things crowded together. Now, because the soul space has become wider, the distance between things has increased, so it is no longer crowded. Then Lin Moyu saw a new visitor in his soul. A huge fireball is burning in the soul. The previous skill star cores are constantly revolving around it. It really became the sun. Lin Moyu murmured, seeing this scene. He seemed to think of the galaxies he had seen in his previous life. Some planets just revolve around the sun. Those planets are called planets, and the sun is a star. Lin Moyu looked at the sun-like skill star core and checked its attributes. Dead wings, fusion 100%, summon undead wings and fly at a speed of 10,000 meters per second without any consumption. If additional soul power is consumed, the flying speed can be increased without upper limit. It's not an attack skill, nor a defensive skill, but the lightning undead wing that has always been the lowest level. After the skill fusion reached 100%, its lightning attribute was erased and turned into undead wings. The attributes became more pure, and began to fully fit the necromancer's profession. Flying at a speed of 10,000 meters per second without any consumption, this is already a good attribute. If it is not fast enough, you can also consume additional soul power to increase the flying speed, and there is no upper limit. This attribute is nothing at first glance, but it is a bit abnormal when you look closely. In other words, the stronger Lin Moyu's soul is, the faster he can fly, and there is no upper limit. Whether it is used to chase the enemy or escape, it is an excellent skill. Antares' voice sounded, "What's the matter? What skill did you get, and how much fusion?" Lin Moyu said, "The fusion rate is 196,300%, but it is not an attack skill or a defensive skill, but..." He said the skills again, and at the same time used the skills to summon undead wings. A pair of bone wings as white as jade appeared behind him, and silver-white undead flames burned on the bone wings, replacing the previous lightning. It seems that this is the bone wing that a necromancer should have, and it is more in line with the identity of a necromancer than the lightning before. Seeing this, Antares said, "Flying skills, what a pity." Lin Moyu asked, strangely, "Isn't it good?" Antares said, "It's not bad, but it's a bit tasteless. They're real strong, they are very fast, and 10,000 meters per second is nothing." Lin Moyu said, "I can consume soul power to speed up my flight." Antares disagreed, "How fast can it be?" Lin Moyu didn't know either. "I'll try." He flew towards the outside. Antares looked at Lin Moyu. With his ability, Lin Moyu's speed is not a big deal at all. But for Lin Moyu, 10,000 meters per second is already faster than the ancient ostrich. This time, the ancient Luenio couldn't laugh at himself. After adapting to the speed of the skill, Lin Moyu began to try to accelerate with the power of the soul. With a heart move, the power of the soul quickly disappeared, then he disappeared with a whoosh. Antares, who was bored, cheered up suddenly, and Lin Moyu disappeared from his sight. Antares blinked his eyes, a little in disbelief. Lin Moyu didn't just disappear, but cut off Antares' soul lock. Although Antares found Lin Moyu again in the next second, but Lin Moyu really broke away from his soul lock in the previous second. Antares is very aware of his own strength, and can break free from his soul lock, which no one in this world can do. Even in the last era, the real super gods couldn't do it. But Lin Moyu really broke away from his soul lock at the moment of acceleration just now. It seemed that there was a sharp blade that directly cut off the connection between the two parties. Antares didn't care about Lin Moyu's speed, for him it was no different from a turtle crawling. The function of cutting off the soul lock is a bit against the sky. Another perverted skill. Antares yelled secretly. There isn't a brat whose skills are not perverted. This kind of skill is used to escape, it is simply a divine skill. Lin Moyu stayed in the air at this time, with a deep shock on his face. In just 1 second, I flew directly out of 100,000 meters. The speed instantly increases by 10 times. If 10,000 meters per second is nothing, but 100,000 meters per second is a bit amazing. And I haven't used my full strength yet, I just used less than 1% of my soul power. And the power of divinity has quickly replenished the consumed soul power. If you do your best. Lin Moyu couldn't even imagine how fast he was. Try. With excitement, Lin Moyu aimed at the direction of Antares, and said at the same time, Antares, I will fly with all my strength, please help me to check the speed. The speed is too fast, I'm afraid I can't figure it out, so please leave it to Antares. He knew Antares would definitely hear. Without waiting for Antares to respond, Lin Moyu had already aroused all the power of his soul. Lin Moyu disappeared from Antares' soul lock again. When Antares locked on Lin Moyu again, 10 seconds had passed. During these 10 seconds, Antares didn't find any trace of Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu seemed to have really disappeared. After 10 seconds, Lin Moyu has crossed the entire upper space and came to the other end of the upper space. A repulsive force came from the space, trying to drive Lin Moyu out of the upper space. At this time, Lin Moyu looked a little weak, and his soul power was almost exhausted. But Lin Moyu was very excited. He actually traveled through the entire upper space in less than 10 seconds. This distance, Lin Moyu, is also hard to count, but it must be tens of thousands of kilometers. How many are specific, you have to ask Antares to know. Before Lin Moyu could speak, a great force acted on Lin Moyu. Along with the teleportation, Lin Moyu found himself back to Antares. Lin Moyu looked excited, how is the speed? Antares hummed, the speed is not bad, about 2,000 kilometers per second. So fast? Lin Moyu exclaimed. 2,000 kilometers per second, if it is placed in the lower space, it can cross the sea of wind and thunder in 1 second. It's a pity that my soul power is too weak, and I can only maintain the top speed for 10 seconds. Antares said, the biggest effect of your skill is not speed. Not speed? What is that? Lin Moyu asked. Antares said in a deep voice, you may not feel it yourself, but the biggest function of this skill is to cut off other people's lock on your soul, cut off the soul lock. Lin Moyu couldn't help but exclaimed. Of course he knew what this meant, and he couldn't help being excited. Antares said, with this skill, if someone is chasing you, you don't need to use a lot of speed. You only need to completely cut off the lock on your soul for a period of time, and it is enough for you to escape. It may be useless against people at my level, but it is very useful against enemies like desolate beasts. Lin Moyu added to Antares' words, it is not only useful when escaping, but also when fighting. The skills used to dodge those soul locks are also very good. When other people's skills can't lock themselves, the battle screen will become exciting. You're right, but that requires extremely precise control, are you sure you can do it? Antares expressed doubts that Lin Moyu's skills can suddenly fly up to 10 meters with only a trace of soul power. When fighting, flying so far all at once is not the same as leaving the battlefield. Therefore, in order to achieve the effect mentioned by Lin Moyu, precise control is required. Lin Moyu is not worried, if you can't do it, just practice more, what are you afraid of? Fine, as long as you like it. Antares had no objection, since there was only one way to choose anyway. Whether it can be practiced or not, at least there is no harm. Lin Moyu thought for a while, you enter my soul space, come and help me take a look. My soul space seems to have changed. Antares snorted and readily agreed. Lin Moyu's ability to invite himself into his soul space so generously shows his trust in himself. Antares likes this feeling. Entering Lin Moyu's soul space again, Antares saw the star-like skill core at first sight. It is the most blazing star core among all skills, burning like a flame. At the same time, it is also the largest in size, exuding a warm aura, illuminating most of the soul space. The other skill star cores are like planets, constantly revolving around it. Antares took a look. Sure enough, it is 100% fusion, almost perfect, and only one step away from sublimation. Lin Moyu asked, "Return your seat?" "Yes, but you are still far away, so don't ask about things that are so ambitious." Antares blocked Lin Moyu's next words in one breath. Lin Moyu is not in a hurry, it is indeed still early. Antares looked around. Your soul space has become larger. In terms of the breadth of a unit space, it is already close to the level of a half-step super god. Good, keep working hard. Antares is like an old senior. After a while, he withdrew from the soul space. Lin Moyu knew that if Antares didn't say there was a problem, it meant there was no problem. Then I stopped thinking about it and started leveling to control undead wings. Only a little soul power is used each time to finally control the distance of the moving range. In the beginning, Wangs could fly tens of thousands of meters every time, and with continuous leveling, the accuracy is rapidly improving. The more Lin Moyu practiced, the more excited he became, and the speed became faster and faster. With the blessing of divine power and 7,900% soul power recovery speed, Lin Moyu has no worries at all and can practice skills non-stop. Antares watched Lin Moyu suddenly flash east and west, and his control became more and more proficient. This kid is indeed a genius. It's only level 79, and the soul level has reached level 93, and the soul space is comparable to a half-step super god. The future is limitless. Maybe you can really become the master of the world. It's just that when the time comes. I don't know if becoming the master of the world is a blessing or a curse, but if you want to jump out, you must take this step. Good luck, boy. Antares' eyes are extremely complicated, and it has great expectations for Lin Moyu. But at the same time, there are worries. But as it says, if you want to jump out, some things have to be done. In the ancient city of Xinxia, a slender woman walked slowly into the city. She was wearing a slim mage outfit, showing her waist, and her skin was as fair as snowflakes. Her appearance is even more beautiful, which is amazing. Her arrival immediately attracted the attention of a large number of male professionals, and many people who were chatting at first appeared dull the moment they saw her. His eyes were firmly attracted by her, and he couldn't leave for a long time. She is stunning and exudes unimaginable charm all the time. Not only male professionals, but also many female professionals are attracted by her and show envy. She was like a ball of fire in the cold night, attracting everyone's attention as soon as she appeared. There was not much expression on her face, and there seemed to be a slight smile on the corner of her mouth. But in the depths of the eyes, there is a little disgust. She didn't like being stared at like that. Fortunately, they were just watching, and no one came to harass them. Professionals still have their own ethics, especially senior professionals who can reach level 70 and complete the third rank. Everyone has their own standards. More people just appreciate, and everyone likes beautiful things. She came to the center of the square, where Galata is located. It's just that Galata Tower is not activated now, and sinks into the ground. A circle was drawn here, and there were soldiers guarding outside the circle, and no one was allowed to approach. The woman didn't approach, but just stood and watched from a distance. Galata. The woman slowly spit out 3 words, with a little curiosity in her eyes. Girl, do you want to see Gurita? A voice suddenly sounded in my ear, and someone leaned over. The person who came over was a middle-aged man in his 30s, who could become a senior professional in his 30s, he should be considered a genius. But compared with women, the difference is not much. The woman looks only 20 years old, very young. Of course, no one believed that she was really only 20 years old. The woman didn't turn her head back, opened her small mouth slightly, and spit out 2 words, yes. The voice was a little cold, with a little arrogance. After finishing speaking, the woman raised her legs and left. The man was about to catch up, when suddenly his eyes blurred, and he had already lost the shadow of the other party. He searched quickly and found that the woman had come to a place more than 10 meters away. Then there was another flower in front of my eyes, and the woman disappeared again, and the area was more than 10 meters away. So fast. He secretly marveled that the woman was obviously just taking simple steps, and each step was more than 10 meters. After a few steps, it was completely out of sight. Shocked, he didn't catch up. He knew that the other party didn't want to have any contact with him at all. The pride of being a senior professional will not be boring. Leaving the ancient city of Xinxia, without so many sightlines, the woman was obviously relieved. That feeling is really uncomfortable, and it can even be said to be a little uncomfortable. She seemed to be regretting. She stepped on the grass on the ground, and said to herself, this decision is right or wrong. 11. Lin Moyu is not here, and I don't know when he will come, but other than here, where else can I find him? The emperor of the human race world can't get through. It seems that only here can wait for Lin Moyu. There is a saying in the human race, that is, if you come, you will be safe. Since you are here, then wait. She is the demon emperor. It should be said that she is a clone of the demon emperor. She turned into a human form and came here to suppress the power, just to find Lin Moyu. But now that Lin Moyu is not here, we can only wait. She randomly found a big rock outside the city, and lay down lazily. An invisible barrier appeared, covering her aura and hiding her figure. The professionals who came and went turned a blind eye to her, and couldn't see her at all. For senior professionals, her level is too high. If she is not willing to be discovered, no matter whether it is a senior professional or a top-level professional, she will not be able to find it. She is not in a hurry. She believes that Lin Moyu will always come here. Lin Moyu has her breath on her body, and she can sense Lin Moyu's approximate location. Lin Moyu should be in the ancient battlefield now, but not in the lower space, but in the upper space. With Lin Moyu's level, it is self-evident that he can stay in the upper space all the time. Lin Moyu kept using his skills, wiping out his soul power bit by bit. At the beginning, he couldn't control it. With a little soul power, he flew 10,000 meters in an instant, and with a little more force, it was tens of thousands of meters. It's far from expected. Lin Moyu imagined that the distance can be freely controlled. From 100 meters to 100,000 meters, you can fly as far as you want. Otherwise, light has speed but no precision, and the effect of this skill will be greatly weakened. How can such a good skill not be used to its full potential? It would be too wasteful. It's just hard to do this step. For 10 consecutive days, Lin Moyu practiced skills non-stop. I don't know that after practicing hundreds of thousands of times, I gradually mastered the rhythm and became more and more proficient. 10 days later, Lin Moyu could already control himself to move freely within a range of 100 meters to 1,000 meters. The accuracy is not less than 10 meters, and the time will not exceed 0.1 seconds. The speed is as fast as teleportation. Being able to master the skills to this level within 10 days, Antares once again lamented that Lin Moyu is indeed a genius. The process of skill mastering is the process of Lin Moyu's fine manipulation of his own soul power. In the process of cultivating the wings of the dead, it also has a great effect on the cultivation of the soul division method. The essence of the soul-splitting method is to split a ray of soul from the soul body to form an existence similar to a clone, which is used to withstand the force of backlash. Because the separated ray of soul is very small, its damage has little impact on the soul. Without damaging the foundation of the soul, at most 5 strands of soul can be separated, so that the purple god-killing thunder can be released 5 times. If you continue to divide the soul, it will affect the foundation of the soul. Of course, with the gift of comprehensive rebirth, even the soul can be reborn. But there are prerequisites for the talent to be activated. Someone needs to kill himself, and there must be an interval of more than 1 minute, so it is not without weaknesses. But now, after these days of practicing undead wings, Lin Moyu has become more and more subtle about soul manipulation. By analogy, there is also a new understanding of the method of dividing the soul. Now Lin Moyu can divide smaller and finer soul power, divide less souls, and form clones. Without damaging the foundation of the soul, such soul-dividing methods can only separate 5 strands, but now it is possible to separate dry strands. Although it is only 5 more attack chances, but the slightest difference in the battle, the result is often the difference between life and death. 10 days later, Lin Moyu stopped practicing. He knew that he had cultivated to a certain level, and if he continued to work hard, the effect would not be very good. In fact, from the 8th day onwards, the effect of practice has been negligible. Antares glanced at him. Have you practiced enough? Lin Moyu nodded. Almost. The effect is not obvious. Antares looked nonchalant. It's almost the same. With your soul level, it's not bad to be able to practice to this level. I don't know your skills, but as far as the soul-splitting method is concerned, you have reached the end. Lin Moyu had a hint of doubt. I can feel that there seems to be room for improvement in the soul-splitting method. Of course, you are only at the initial stage of the soul-splitting method, but you are still far from the next stage. What does the next phase look like? What's the use of telling you? Your soul can't bear it at all. You can do whatever you want at any level. Lin Moyu knew that Antares was starting to play tricks again, so he was not in a hurry anyway. When he reaches a higher level, he can study it by himself. The ancient city of Xinxia is the name given by the people of Xinxia. In fact, its real name is Jushan Fortress, and it is an extremely powerful weapon of war. Among them, Jushan refers to the true god. In its heyday, with full firepower, can kill the true god. The power that Lin Moyu can grasp now is less than 1/10,000th of what it was in its heyday, but it can already compete with existences like the Demon Emperor and the Dragon Emperor. Even killing a level 98 half-step super god like Jiangyi is not a problem. From this, we can see how powerful the God Execution Fortress is. The unaware Xinxia people regarded the ancient city of Xinxia as a resting fortress. It is also relying on this fortress that the human race has occupied a place on the 4 continents in the lower space of the ancient battlefield. People come and go in the ancient city, very lively. Lin Moyu appeared outside the ancient city again, and walked in because of steps. The people in the ancient city seemed to have changed again, and many strange faces appeared. Some people left the ancient city, left the ancient battlefield, and returned to the human world to enjoy the rare peace. There are also newcomers entering here to start their adventure career. Lin Moyu could sense a hint of joy from Galata. He has been recognized by Galata, but he is the new owner of Galata. Although he still can't fully control this ancient god fortress, his authority has surpassed that of the Legion leader Feng Yiming. As long as the soul is strong enough, Lin Moyu can even control the ancient god's fortress to take off and fight. Lin Moyu learned from Antares that after cultivating to the god level, the most important thing is the soul. The soul not only represents combat power, but also represents the level, realm, future, and so on. Soul is the root of everything. This is Antares' summary of the soul, and Lin Moyu also kept it firmly in his heart. This time when he came to the ancient city of Xinxia, Lin Moyu did not activate the Goulet Tower. He stood on the square, communicated with the core of Galata, and obtained the latest information about Galata. The core of Galata has many functions, one of which is recording what happens in normal times. According to Lin Moyu's feelings for Galata, Galata should have some consciousness, just like a journey with the stone spirit in the copy of the god stone. It's just that this consciousness is now in a deep sleep state, leaving only some instincts to act according to the rules. Lin Moyu believes that his judgment should be correct. Every time he communicates with the core of Galata, he will feel that feeling, which is amazing. When Galata wakes up one day, maybe he can communicate with himself. It is possible for some powerful instruments to produce independent intelligence, and the extinguishing demon tower seems to have produced a trace of intelligence, but its body is still too weak. Now it seems that it is slowly strengthening by devouring the electric element of Galata, but there is still a long way to go before the final birth of wisdom. Huh? Lin Moyu saw a figure in Galata's records. A woman in a corseted mage robe. This woman is amazingly beautiful, and Lin Moyu is not lustful, but he has to admit that the beauty of this woman can only be compared with the water god. Mere beauty is not enough to arouse Lin Moyu's surprise. To Lin Moyu's surprise, Lin Moyu found that he seemed to know this woman. But he was very sure that he had never seen this woman before, but for some reason, he felt a little familiar at first glance. There is a problem with this person's identity. Lin Moyu is sure that there is definitely something wrong with this person's identity, otherwise he wouldn't bring himself this feeling. According to Galeda's message, the woman left after staying for a short time. When leaving, each step can walk more than 10 meters away. It caught Lin Moyu's attention again. The woman is not fast, but like a teleportation, stepping out with one step, disappearing here, and appearing in another place. It's kind of like teleportation. Is this also a law? After thinking for a moment, Lin Moyu couldn't find the corresponding person from his memory, so he had to give up. Recently, due to the end of the war, more professionals came to Galeda. All is well. Lin Moyu left the ancient city of Xinxia. Together with him, a group of people also left Xinxia ancient city. After leaving the city, this group of people quickly moved in one direction, obviously with a purpose. Someone gave Lin Moyu a look before leaving, and the vigilance in his eyes disappeared only when he saw that Lin Moyu hadn't followed. It seems that they have found a certain boss and want to attack it. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, and quickly guessed what the other party was thinking. It is a good thing to be vigilant at all times. In places like the ancient battlefield, if you lose your vigilance, you may face death. When Lin Moyu left the ancient city of Xinxia, a will descended silently. The demon emperor, who had been waiting outside the ancient city for a few days, suddenly opened his eyes. Lin Moyu, it's finally here. Her soul will silently locked on Lin Moyu. Her level was much higher than Lin Moyu's. Lin Moyu didn't notice this kind of non-hostile locking. Just when she was thinking about how to greet Lin Moyu suddenly spread his wings and disappeared instantly. The soul lock was cut off, and the demon emperor couldn't help showing a look of shock. Have you been discovered? Impossible. With her eyesight, she couldn't see where Lin Moyu went. Whether it is the naked eye or the soul, Lin Moyu's trace is lost in an instant. She judged that Lin Moyu should not have found herself, but Lin Moyu disappeared instantly, which made her feel incredible. The soul has completely lost its lock on Lin Moyu, but it doesn't matter, the breath she left on Lin Moyu is still there. Just a few seconds later, she felt Lin Moyu's breath again. What shocked her was, Lin Moyu is thousands of kilometers away from her. This speed is too fast. Even some high-level gods don't have such a fast speed. Lin Moyu's speed is already comparable to hers. How can he be so fast? It's unreasonable. In the next second, Lin Moyu's breath disappeared again. Shocked, the demon emperor stepped lightly on lotus steps and galloped towards Lin Moyu's direction. Her way of advancing is different from that of Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu is purely fast, while the demon emperor is based on the law of footsteps, just like teleportation. Every step is hundreds of kilometers. After a few steps, he came to the place where Lin Moyu appeared before. The sound of waves hitting the shore sounded, and there was thunder roaring in the distance. Sea of wind and thunder. The demon emperor recited softly, and memories flashed in his eyes. A long time ago, when she was not the demon emperor, she came here. Not only has she been here, she has also visited the maelstrom. In the blink of an eye, 1,000 years have passed, and when I come here again, looking at the sea of wind and thunder, I still feel nostalgic. Lin Moyu's aura reappeared, and in just a few seconds, Lin Moyu had crossed the Fonlei Sea and entered the Fonlei continent. What are you going to do in Fonlei continent? The demon emperor followed with a slight smile. Lin Moyu's actions aroused her interest. She followed up again, and crossed the sea of wind and thunder in a few steps. The clouds were light and the wind was light, without a trace of fireworks. All her actions are extremely elegant, completely different from her majestic appearance in the demon emperor's palace. Lin Moyu didn't move anymore, but stayed down. She hid her figure and approached Lin Moyu, and saw Lin Moyu fighting. Pieces of thunder trees were collapsing and dying. Lin Moyu stood in mid-air, watching his undead army wipe out the thunder trees wantonly. There is also a huge bone door shrouded in silver and white flames in the air, and a giant eye in the door is overlooking the world. He's leveling? The Demon Emperor realized what Lin Moyu was doing. The Thunder Tree group at the foot is not small, more than 30,000 trees, and there is also a world boss level Thunder Tree group. At this moment, Lei Shuchuan at this level was just a dish to Lin Moyu. The eyes of the undead rotate slowly, overlooking the world. The Demon Emperor suddenly frowned, and his soul trembled slightly. Then she heard Lin Moyu's voice. Come out and go.